Alrighty. Let's start them. Let's get this. Alrighty. Let's do this. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 4 of AGRL NASCAR. And we're doing the full-fledged Daytona 500. How's everyone doing? Gonna get on my... Might get some people in here. Yes, we are live. We are here. It's everything all good to go here. At least on my end. How are we all doing? I got some people that are just doing some open lobby, so why not pop in there? You know, I am gonna be at the Pepsi 250, not in this one. We're gonna go have a lap around here, or at least 2 laps around here. To get everybody familiar. We come into turn 1, you're already going ahead of speed around here. I didn't realize everybody. Apparently we have people on the track. I did not know that. Alright, we're gonna go a little bit slow. We're gonna go on the apron. So we get out of the driver's way. Get out of the driver's way. Going. Obviously, it's not much to show around here. Here, as I am sticking to the apron, so I get out of the driver's way. Some of the driver's way. We got a few people coming in here. Okay, we're going around the track here. Getting out of people, getting out of harm's way, pretty much. And you coming up into fourth gear here. I didn't realize that people in this one. I didn't realize it wasn't ghosted. But yes, we are here at Daytona. Stick to the bottom, let them come up. We'll go on board here, inside the car for everybody to see. We got somebody about to come up on me in here shortly. It looks like it's Lynx coming up on me. We're just full throttle here. preferably, a lot of people prefer the bottom. That is going to be a full-fledged, full-paced lap around here. That is a full lap. Obviously, as we can see, this will be my car. So hopefully. So we're going to go through the field of who we got so far. We got Apex Blade. He's driving the 96 Monster Energy Toyota. Link's driving the number 48 Lowe's Chevy. Poofy is in the number 88 Lamar Chevy as well. Rotary in the number 5 Boeing Chevy as well. Flag is in the number 16 Celsius and Advent Health Chevy. We got Doug coming in. He's driving the number 31 Red Bull Chevy. Then we got King Cameron, the number 44 Mobile One Chevy. IOR Buddha, he's in the number 41 Dunkin' Donuts Toyota Camry. We got Elite Phantom, he's in the number 8 Mobile One Toyota Camry as well. We got 2 Mobile Ones in here. And then we got Pointy Scroll number 37. I believe it's a Javelin or something like that. He's in a throwback car. It's like the Bobby Allison throwback car in the Chevy. Number 7 Chevy. Then we got Dino Prime in the number 77 Mountain Dew Chevy. We got Convictions coming around in the number 22 Don't Ram Me Chevy. And we got Riddle You in the number 12 Ryobi Chevy. Then we got Shredder, a newcomer into this, in the number 10. Very heavy metal-like Ford Fusion, the first Ford here. Then we got Jackson Go Burr in the number 98 Yahoo Toyota. Then we got, of course, we got Insane Leader coming in. We're about to invite Insane Leader into here. Let's see how he is doing in here. Let's get him in here. Let us get the Insane Leader. Insane Leader 13 in here. My partner in crime for this. We got 2 people. Well, at least it says here on my laptop. Hopefully he will join. Hopefully. Hopefully he will join me here. Oh, there he is. Welcome. Whew. In the meantime, who do we got? Up in the chat. The 2 people. We have a lot of drivers in here today. And I mean a lot. Like drink. Oh, we got more people in here now. We got Brumman, 6'8", and the number 99 Taco Bell Toyota, and then Kirito at the moment. Blank car. Hopefully it'll have a livery. Going to mean Kirito is in a blank car, or in a blank Toyota. I believe I look at his sign up. He's in the 86. Ori. Bopar! Nice to have you in here in the chat. Welcome to the chat, Mopar. Yeah, we're doing practice session at the moment, Mopar. I don't even know if you signed up or not. Probably not. I think it's just been me so far, Mopar. Yep, just me. Whew. Well, there's always time. There is always time to sign up, Mopar. You'll probably just have to miss one race. Or who knows, you might not do that many. Either way, you're in for a hell of a race, Mopar. 500 miles, 200 laps, man. It's gonna be intense. Might have a little bit of fun in this car for a bit. Yes, I am still here. What? Oh, did you include your audio? Cool. Twitch. Oh, that's where. Oh, that's why. Okay, yeah, party audio. I forgot. I forgot the party. I forgot the party option audio.
All right. I'm not including.
Okay. Cool. Mm-hmm. 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 Fair enough. Fair enough. Yep. That's kind of why I'm glad you're obviously glad that you are here. He's not everybody. Insane Leader is in the party with me, in the booth with me, but he has not included audio yet. Just an FYI for everybody. That sounds like an interesting. That sounds interesting. Latte. I'm a latte kind of guy. Oh yeah, we're gonna be drinking probably a lot of caffeine on our hands today. After all, this is 500 miles. He can hear, at least I think he can hear me at the very least. Ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be a hectic race. $16 people. Oh, I forgot Cactus Man in the number. Here's another one. Cactus Man. He's in the number 2 Microsoft Chevy. That's another one who just joined here. But I went through everybody that's in here. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Yeah. Well, to be honest, it's been so long since I've done an AGRL race or led commentary in an AGRL race. So I'm just all full of excitement for the first one leading this. Oh. Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, definitely. Yep. Well, if you want to, the option is there to include your audio, so.
These are actually underway.
We got Mopar says, I'm retired. I know these guys are good, so I'm out. Well,
there's room for Mopar if he wanted to take part. We still apparently have room for him.
Yep. It's just that, unfortunately, you can't pick the 3. That honor goes to Time to Galaxy. And hopefully he'll bring some luck with that number, since I'm no longer using the number 3, since I am pretty much going to be calling it pretty much a career in stock car racing after that, the Pepsi 250. So that will be my last. I don't think. Oh yeah, I think someone else was in the 88. Yep, Poofy. But I think 38 is still an option. Ooh. Pre-roll on. Oh.
Okay, so heading into this event, I can go ahead and say a few things right off the bat that I do know right away. So, Lynx is in the middle, as far as I'm aware, Lynx is in the middle of a bit of a drought. He's just not been able to take home wins in anything for a while, so he's going to be looking forward to breaking that. Rotary, that is actually Boeing's son. He has gone through a complete name change, but he still has Boeing as the name. We also have Elite Fam. He's kind of back into the cars. Flag is showing up. Flag's been improving. From what I've seen and what I've been interacting with him, so keep an eye on him. Dino Prime is likely going to only make 2 starts this season, the season opener and the season ender. He's not really excited for the series as a whole, but he wanted to run a full-length NASCAR race. Dino is my kind of group of people, and we're all kind of in a mixed bag of some of us just want this game in, some of us don't want this game in because we want to keep doing stuff with NASCARs. Dino's one of those who just wants to be involved in the full-length race. Blade is coming off of 3 consecutive championships in the series, although last year it came down to the last race, and technically 3, but realistically a 2-way fight. There was talks in the off-season that drop rounds were going to be initiated, but I have not heard anything about that actually happening. I'm assuming that we are still doing a normal adding up all the points at the end of the season scenario. But, oh god, Convictions has this bloody drip car.
Yep, he does,
Grayson Jason has been going on an absolute tear. Just about everything that Jason has been running in recently, he'll show up with no practice whatsoever, and he's winning. So, if you want to know who to put money on for victory, I would say put money on either Jason or A1's Jason is pushing. Shredder is extremely confident with this build. He is probably going to be a lock for at least the top 3 start positions, if not pole itself. With that said, Shredder is also ungodly bad at not fading out over the course of the race, and he has just recently come off, about 30 minutes ago, he got done with a 2-hour event in the F1 games. And he's British, so for Shredder, I would anticipate that for him the challenge is going to be not falling asleep or not blacking out, because he's dealing with health issues in some ways, and has been having issues with blacking out under long races. So Shredder, I think, is a lock for a high start. I don't anticipate him to be running very high near the end of the season. Other things to keep in mind, that's really it. Off the top of my head, that's all I can really say. Last season there was a AGRL All-Star race. I am not aware of that being brought back again. I talked with Blade about it like about a month and a half ago, and it was very bullish on it that was going to happen. It seems like it's probably not going to happen as it stands right now, unless I'm completely missing something. I think we're going to be looking at a 18 or 19 car field. Oh yeah, Kirito's here. Heads up regarding Kirito. Kirito's been dealing with a lot of weird issues with his internet over the last 2 weeks. In the Group B series, which is the other series that AGRL is running right now, Kirito had been leading the championship, but he missed a race a few weeks back, and then back at Brands Hatch, he started having issues with the internet where the car would jostle around and lag back and forth, and it caused numerous accidents. Similar thing happened this week at the race at the Le Mans Bugatti circuit. So Kirito initially was not going to show up. However, I'm guessing something has changed. He must feel more confident with his internet, so he is showing up now. If Kirito can find a good drafting partner, I think him being near the front is a possibility. And it looks like we're going to have 18 drivers in today's race.
Yep. So who do you...
Last season we had 23.
Yep. But I want to talk about who do you think are the favorites to win this race today, Insane Leader?
I already said I think it's Jason, and then if not Jason, whoever Jason is pushing. So if Link's Bowen's son is up ahead of Jason, and Jason is giving those drivers a push. Oh, there must have been some sort of hiccup because they're all backing out.
Yep.
But yeah, if Jason is giving Link's Bowen's son a push, I think that's going to be the likely circumstance that we'll see the victory here. There are other drivers in this field who have a lot of experience with this build. Mind you, this setup here around Daytona goes back to early to mid 2019, basically shortly after the last patches, the last physics updates were made for the game. It's been run for 2.5 seasons in OSRL, also known as the X1 CS. It's been run in numerous different exhibition series. This was also the Daytona build ran last season. So there are some people here, I'm mainly pointing to Dino Prime and SRD Shredder, who have a lot of experience with this build. But everyone who ran in a race, one of the Daytona races last season, also knows what this up is like. Unlike the traditional NASCAR stock tuning around Daytona, which is just single file holding inside line, you can't really make moves. This build really incentivizes drivers to go wide if you can get someone to work with you and make moves, and make lots of moves around the outside. So with that in mind, that with the fact that you can actually do a proper slam draft or bump draft, two-car tandem, whatever you want to call them, I think you consider all those things together, it's all just going to come down to who in second is willing to stay in second position. Because most of the races I've seen with this setup just comes down to when somebody is in second place, are they willing to stay in second place or keep making moves? You don't really see a whole lot of last lap overtakes with this build. What ends up happening is that you typically have somebody who's very content and happy to finish in a second position, and they come home in second, like that. I've been on the receiving end of that kind of scenario, not with this build, but a similar build.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with the with that. As we are underway with qual.
Like I said, I personally think that a good idea is to keep an eye on SRD Shredder. Shredder's one of the few drivers I know in this league who actually is going to be has that set up for F1 stuff, but he is very familiar with how to change the calibration for it to swap it over to oval racing. Oval racing is really the only area where wheel is practical in Forza 7, and even then only for short periods of time, because it can be very exhausting to be grinding against the wheel for, in this case, 500 miles. But again, I think Shredder is going to be a lock for, if not pole position, at least a top 3 spot on the grid here.
Yeah, look, see, King Cameron was on the pole for a bit, but that now goes...
Blade's now on the top.
Yeah.
Blade also kind of busy time in his life right now. He's been working a job, he's been doing college. AGRL as a whole has kind of had to take a bit of a backseat for him, let alone his abilities to actually properly race. So, while Blade in prior seasons would be basically your default champion simply because he was the only fast speed person who would show up to every race, I think we're looking this season at the same thing we saw in the F1 series that Justin did a few weeks back. Blade may show up to every race, and he may be fast, but Jason is here. As long as Jason shows up to every race across the season, I believe that Jason will probably lock up the championship with about 2 races to go. This, from what I remember, this is supposed to be a 13-race season rather than a 10-race season. And again, I believe if nothing else changes, I believe we can be expecting a circumstance where as long as Racing Jason shows up to every race, he is going to lock home top 5 or top 6 finishes every week. And in driver versus driver battles, he basically has been destroying Blade almost every week. I've seen the two of them on track against each other. There is no one from the DDR team who are showing up to today's event. That puts them basically in the hole by default in the championship fight. So with that in mind, I think Jason, I don't think he's going to win every race this season, but I think it's very possible that Jason will go and win basically probably half the races this season. I can see him easily walking off with winning 6 out of 13 races this season. Oh, and he'll probably do that without doing any practice as well, just FYI. I will admit that there's a bad case of gaps in the field. So right now, on the top of the timesheets, apparently,
Shredder.
like I said, SRD Shredder. And again, Shredder is really good on qualifying. He's going to be really good on the initial lap. Historically speaking, though, he'll get off the line. He'll have absolutely no issue leading lap 1 or lap 2. But then once the drivers 3rd, 4th, 5th on back want to start making moves, he'll start struggling a bit because, eventually he's going to just fall back a little bit. And I fully anticipate by the end of this race, he is going to be near the rear of the grid just fighting to survive. 300-mile races are typically the longest that we see him run in. He's going to be trying to do a 500-mile race on the wheel.
Yep, 200, yeah. Yeah, like you said, Shredder is on the pole. Then we get Riddle U in 2nd, Buddha 3rd, Blade 4th, King Cameron in 5th, Rotary, which is Boeing's son, in 6th, Brumman 7th, Flag 8th, Jackson 9th, and Dino Prime. They round out your top 10. Then it's Elite Phantom, Cactus Man, Poofy, HYR Dog, MRT Kirito, Pointy Scroll, Racing Jason, and Lynx.
So Pointy Scroll, Jason, and Lynx, they all were just kind of pacing around at a very slow pace. I believe they were intentionally trying to do a last to first challenge. Again, having drafting partners is going to be very helpful.
Yeah,
Jason
definitely.
is part of the AGRL Old Guard back when this was just GRL and the Apex group had not come in and taken it over. So Jason still has a lot of drivers who are able and willing to help him out. Boeing Sun, Lynx, Pointy Scroll, all these drivers, they know who Jason is. Jason knows them. He may not be the most fun people to hang out with on track or off track, depending on what your personality is. Some people pop off very well with them, some people don't. But those 4 drivers know each other very well. As long as they're all together, I think Jason is going to be the biggest thing. I think he's either going to win because he has the ability to walk off with the victory here, no issue by himself. But if he's going to work with a teammate of his, he can easily push a teammate to victory here without issue.
Yeah, Lynx or Pointy. But obviously, as we can see, he's running a kind of a unique scheme and kind of, in some cases, would be cursed, considering his scheme is the pain in the body is Dale Earnhardt GM Goodwrench, but he has 24 on it, and it's easily one of those cursed ones. Oh, welcome to the chat, Kirito. They paid in 10 minutes, only race road courses. And yet you're here you're racing the biggest race here, Kirito. You're racing the Daytona 500 pretty much. Well, not the Daytona 500, but it's AGRL.
A Daytona 500.
A Daytona 500, but it's not the Daytona 500. It's going to be, well, since we probably know who will more likely be one of those that will win the race, who do you think this season will win the championship, though?
Like I already said, I think it's going to be Jason. As long as Jason shows up to every race this season, I think he has the championship won by default. Now, if Jason starts missing races, though, I think it goes in Blade's favor. We don't have any DDM drivers here, and while I know that Kirito is fast, I don't think Kirito is going to be good enough on the ovals. Blade is very competent on all circuit types. I think championship is going to be Jason, Blade, Kirito in that order at the end of the season. And I think it's probably going to go down between Blade and Kirito to the last race. I think Jason's probably going to have the title locked up with a race or 2 to go.
Yeah. Replying to Mopar.
And again, I do want to say this again. Jason is probably going to do this with no practice whatsoever. There is a significant talent deficit from what Jason and Blake does, and then the rest of the field. Well, Jason, Blake, Kirito, and then the rest of the field. Fight for 4th in points overall, I think, is going to be very interesting. And we have drivers here. I look at someone like Dino Prime 77. I look at SRD Shredder. If those drivers show up across the entire season, they have the ability to snipe a win potentially. Dino was the highest person in last season's championship who did not get a victory, but he still came home, I believe, 6th in overall points. Could have been higher, but some fuckery in the last few laps at Miami screwed him over. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Dino shows up to every race of the season. I think a top 5 in points is basically guaranteed to him, especially because there are no DDM drivers showing up to at least the first race of the season. SRD Shredder, same thing. Shredder right now is leading in the Group B championship points. I think Shredder could also make a run for 4th in points. But again, I think Kirito, Blade, and Jason, they are basically your lock for your top 3. I'm going to start up my broadcast on my end now.
Yep. But yeah, to those watching, you'll be seeing it from 2 different ends. You'll be seeing it from me, except for the times where I'm actually competing. I actually will stream my point of view when I'm competing.
Drumore, make sure your audio is included.
Aye.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host for today's broadcast, St. Louis 13, and today we are getting underway for our first half. 13 races here for AGRL's final NASCAR season here on Forza Motorsport 7. I'm joined in the podcast booth by SDR Dramora. Dramora, it's great to have you here because today we are going to be looking at a race that's not 250 miles long, not 300 miles, not 350 miles. We're looking at a proper 500-mile race here today. Yep. 18 drivers. Qualifying's already over. Now, I was talking with you in your own personal stream, Dramora. Qualifying's over. Go ahead and tell us what we can be looking forward to in the race.
Well, to sum it up in one word for everybody here in both of our streams, chaos. Potentially chaos. Potentially long, because we're looking at 4 to 5 hours, potentially. Or it might be shorter. Who knows? We don't know. All we know is there's going to be some action here. There's going to be some action. There's not going to be some action. There might be train choo-choo moments that'll be 3, 4 wide. You don't know. We don't know. But those are guaranteed things to look out for in this race.
All right, so of things to take note of, let's go ahead real quickly, run down some of the drivers here and give you some of the stories and updates of note regarding them that I'm aware of. Dramore, if there's something that you're aware of, feel free to let me know. I already said some of these on your stream, I'm going to reiterate here on mine. Riddle U, he's going to be starting front row on the outside. He really could have a great run. Shredder bogs down the initial start of this race. I think Riddle U could easily get to the front. We've seen this man before at plate tracks. He's very good at manipulating the draft and staying near the front. Not necessarily leading a lot of laps, but very good at staying near the front. LMP Lynx is on a bit of a dry spell. He's been running a lot of different series. I've seen him in Formula 60s cars. I've seen him in modern F1 cars. I've seen him in NASCARs. I've seen him in GT cars, Group B cars, all sorts of things. But Lynx has not been able to pull off a win recently, despite having pace that has been comparable to Tora A-Lobby drivers. Lynx would love to see this get broken. He's going to try and do that in Jimmy Johnson's number 48. We have Broman. I don't know anything about him, but he's got his height right there, and his name's... He'll probably beat the tar out of you. Rotary 7314, that is Boeing's son. He has gone through an injury, so just know that you can still cheer for him. He's still in that Boeing-sponsored number 5, but now his name is Rotary. Arabuda has finally come back to the series, as has Pointy Scroll. Pointy Scroll is one of the drivers who elected to not do a proper run in qualifying. He is going to be starting near the back, along with most of Brace and Jason's little posse. They're going to be trying to make a back-to-front challenge today. Elite Fan is another driver in that group. Flag's a driver in that group. Dino Prime, he is not anticipated to run most of the race of the season. He's only anticipated to run the endurance race, which is today's race here, and then the season finale, which will be the 400-miler at Miami. Dino qualified midfield. He is going to be trying to work with SRD Shredder throughout the course of today's race. We don't know how it's going to work out today. Jackson Gober, I don't really know anything about you, mate, but I will say I do like that scheme a lot. It makes me think of like a Xfinity scheme from the early 2010s. I like Jackson's scheme there.
He is one of those that's easily in the mid pack. He's kind of at the front sometimes, but he's mostly in the mid-pack area.
Yeah. Apex Blade 87. Blade's been in the middle of some issues with his personal life. Nothing problematic, but he has been dealing a lot with work, a lot with college stuff. He's not been able to put a lot of time into properly racing. He is your 3-time defending champion in this series. However, he is likely going to have some proper fight for the actual title fight this season. Keep an eye on Blade because he needs, if he wants to go for a proper title, he needs to have a good, strong run right away here at Daytona. Cactus Man, and he's finally coming back in that Microsoft number 2 machine. Kofi is back in the number 88. Jason, you made the point earlier that he's running that kind of cursed paint scheme. It's not straight Dale Sr., it's not straight Jeff Gordon. It's got Gordon's old number, but it's got Dale Sr.'s late mix of grays and blacks, a little bit of white and red. Keep an eye on that because that's going to be a very interesting car. But more importantly, Jason, he was one of the drivers that chose not to properly qualify. He's going to be starting near the back of the grid today, trying to do a last-to-first challenge. SRD Shredder, he's won the pole position. He's already come off of a win in XRL's X1 exhibition race that took place earlier today, but he's already run 2 hours today. He typically gets very exhausted after about an hour or two of racing anyway. He only had a 30-minute break. He's won pole, but now he has to go 500 miles after already driving 2 hours earlier. With Shredder, the big question is just going to be how long can he stay at the front, and will he have the actual energy to make it to the end of the race? There could be potential medical issues with Shredder coming to the end of today's event. MRT Kirito, he's been dealing with some issues with his internet. That is one of the reasons he has lost the points lead in AGRL's Group B championship. He's still in contention for there, could be in contention for a good run today, but Kirito, who is a road course specialist, not noble guy, trying to get a good start here. Or like other drivers, that could be a big problem for him. And that will be coming into today's event.
Yeah, but you forgot one other driver, that being HYR Doug. You skipped over him in between Jackson and Apex Blade.
Oh, oops.
It's all right. I remember. I'll let you remember. I reminded you of that. He's driving that number 31 Red Bull Chevy.
I just remembered one other thing. So we do have convictions on track. Convictions was formerly known as SPR Mercy. Not under that anymore, though. I believe convictions is still on the track.
He was
on there earlier.
No, he must not be on here anymore.
Okay, well, it looks like we're about to get underway here. First race of the season. Also of note, there will be points given midway through the race, somewhat like the stage break. However, there are not actually going to be the caution part of the stages. Once you cross that line at the end of the stage, you just keep going regardless. This kind of thing has provided some interesting things in the past at Daytona. I remember in 2012 Daytona 500 was an absolute trash race when it came to on-track racing for the most part. Except for the little bit of a midfield, you had a lot of people real off, not so well off. We even had Blade Terry Labonte in the backmarker car showing up trying to make a run for a $50,000 bonus prize halfway in the race. We've seen before these weird halfway things can make some very interesting racing. Could look for an interesting result there. More than anything else, I think the most important thing is going to be teammates. You need to have someone you know you can work with. Dino Prime and Shredder say that they want to work together, but Dino starting 10th, Shredder starting on the pole, and typically Shredder falls back in these races. If those two can't hook up, they may be in trouble. Jason is going to be working with, as far as I can estimate, at least 3 different drivers today. Jason historically is incredibly competent at Daytona. His teammates are also very competent at Daytona. I think it's Jason and his little posse, which would include Lynx, which would Pointy Scroll,
Jackson,
and Jackson and Boeing. I think those are the main drivers to look for, because I think Jason, more than anything else, has the big, really deciding factor as to how this season and how this race here is going to go. A reminder, this is not going to be your only Daytona race. There will be one other Daytona race that will be running a little bit later in the season. That one will be under the lights. This one, though, is going to be properly in the day. So you don't have to worry about any visibility issues here.
Yep. I'll be in that race,
you'll actually be there for that one. All right, one last thing I want to get to before we get underway here. So, a slightly different thing when it came to paint schemes this year. The rules got a little bit stricter. Dino Prime is still providing the little sticker that goes on the driver's side and the passenger side right behind the front wheel well. But the banner on the rooftop has been made by Blade itself, and that is customized by manufacturer. So the cars have a little bit more of a visual identity. I'm not really a fan of the move, but I will admit that gives the car a great little visual identity. So this is not the biggest field ever that we've had at Daytona. However, this is going to be the largest we have ever seen.
Yes, indeed. Pace cars in. We got 18 cars here.
I need you to reach up there. You get pulled up.
Oh, yes, indeed. Buggity, buggity, buggity. Let's go racing at Daytona, boys.
And already the 3 wide farther back in the field is a dead heat though between Riddle U and
and one goes around.
And there's already a car around. That's the number 2 who is on sideways farther back there. Riddle U has already moved ahead of SRD Shredder. And Blade is in the 3rd position. And we are staying green, it would appear.
With just one car.
Yeah, I saw 2 cars go off circle, only one of them was sideways. And Riddle U had the ideal launch right the line. And despite having pole position, SRD Shredder falls to 2nd behind Riddle U. Now Blade is in 3rd position.
Here they come. Here comes that train.
Riddle and Shredder work.
Yes, here they all come, and here. But it looks like Riddle U for HYR is going to lead the first lap here at Daytona.
Here comes King Cameron on the outside of Apex Blade now. He really wants to make something happen early on.
Oh, and he's going to go to the outside.
This could get really interesting. Rotary is behind him. Blade is right behind Shredder. Gives Shredder a gigantic push coming out of turn number 2. Ryan is pushing Rotary, and Rotary is pushing that Mobile 1 machine as they go down the back straightaway here.
Oh, and here they come again.
Cameron's going to fall back just a little bit. Dial time has already got 10 to 6 in this few laps here. Dino runs right behind Blade at the moment.
Lynx is from all the way in the back. He's all the way up to 8th right now. Lynx going to go.
Looks like there are also a lot of drivers who did that stand back in qualifying. They were willing to start near the back. Well, they've already made a huge amount of positions up. At the front, though, it is very easily Riddle U who leads. Shredder is just glued to his rear bumper. Blade is trying to push him wide, and there is a massive pack that's everywhere for about a second on back. Riddle draws a little bit high coming out of turn number 2, then cuts back down in front of SRD Shredder. So Riddle U is just trying to do a little Tony Stewart maneuver. He'll hold the inside line, they'll block the outside line. He's just trying to cut off the momentum of the line behind him. They'll start well now, but as you're later in the race, the drivers behind aren't willing to back off the throttle. It's going to cause potential issues. Riddle needs to know when to knock that off, and it looks like Shredder is now going to go to the outside of Riddle U. As it's coming down to the start finish line here, Blade is pushing right behind Shredder, but not close enough to make a move happen. They go back to single file. Gets squeezed to the outside. Shredder back. On the same position. He does a full outside the top 5. And Blade goes around the inside. With King Cameron pushing him as they go down the back straightaway.
Yes, like I said, we have a new leader, and that is Apex Blade. But we saw a car. Oh, the car's into the wall! Pick hard.
2 cars involved. They stay green though, by the looks of it. That would be a 2 cars thing. I believe we're going to stay green.
But it's Rotary. Boeing hit the wall hard.
Yellow flag is out.
Yellow is out.
All right, so unlike last season, we are actually able to go green off the line. But real quickly, I really think it's important to point this out. Dino Prime started 10th. He is already up into the 3rd position. So an incredible circumstance. I don't think anyone's anticipating him to move up. Again, Dino is only really working officially with one person, Shredder. Those 2 were not together at any point. Dino's just made these positions up on his own. And then in the same vein, you look behind him, you have Lynx. He came from the back to the front real quickly. Jackson Goldberg's come up with them very quickly as well. But the drivers who we expected to be higher up the grid, Pony School is still back there at 11th. Rotary is back there in 14th after the accident, and more importantly than anything else, I think, Jason, who was involved in that last 1 incident, he is next to last. 24 car is back there in the 17th position right now, although someone has just dropped to the back.
Yeah, Elite Phantom. Elite Phantom, yeah. Something is going on with Elite Phantom.
It may be because he was involved in the incident in some way, I'm not sure, but he is way off the pace for the moment. But Apex Blade is your 2nd leader, and the man he took it from, Riddle U, is still running near the front, 4th position. Shredder, who had the pole, didn't even lead for an entire mile. He lost the lead of the race going into turn 1.
We got a car coming. We got a couple coming in. Got Buddha and Jason are coming into the pits right now.
So that could be an interesting strategy, because if you come in by yourself, you could be potentially screwed. But if you have another person that you're paying with and you trust working with them, the two of you can go ahead. And even if you start in the back, as long as the two of you are hooked up, the drivers ahead are going to have to pit eventually. You will overtake them. You'll have some time in clean air. If you're not spending all your time fighting with other people and really jerking the wheel around throughout the corners and the tri-oval, you can open up a small gap before. I've seen situations before. I've seen races with this package have long 100+ lap green flag runs, and drivers who have been 9th or 10th get on an alternate strategy where they're not fighting anyone else on track, and just because they're not bothering anyone else, the two of them do a little tandem draft, and they've gone all the way from 9th to 10th up to 1st and 2nd. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but a long green flag run could have a massive impact. As we saw just in those 5 green flag laps alone, the field, which is an 18-car field, pretty much broke up into the top 8 all on top of each other, and then everyone else kind of spread out behind. If this race goes for a nice long green flag run, we could see a scenario where it no longer becomes a matter of, well, who is in the best position in the pack. It may become a matter of who is working best with their drafting partner. Tandem drafting, that good old 2008, 2012 style of tandem drafting, is incredibly important with this package.
Yes, indeed, as we're too wide here. We're double file. Here's we're getting ready to restart the race.
AGRL Buddha is rushing to catch up to the rear of the grid here. He might try to do a Kyle Busch 2011 but shootout thing here and try to have more speed than the rest of the field as they come to the line. But I think he's timed that wrong, and I think it'll be just close enough that he won't actually be able to utilize that. Okay, so they'll go green in the restart zone. Rather than the start-finish line, they typically prefer to go green in the restart zone for this series. Blade would lead them to the green flag with King Cameron on the outside. And Cameron has the better launch. Riddle just drilled him in the rear, and Cameron had a better launch than Blade. But Blade is coming back. They are side by side, but I think Cameron can cut down in front of Blade here.
He
That's
does.
exactly what happens.
King Cameron.
So that's the second time that we have seen the driver on the outside get the position, and Shredder is in the outside wall further back. Shredder is in the outside wall, and someone's gone around. Single car incident near the back of the grid. One car, we should stay green. Blade on the outside of King Cameron now.
Flag. Flag got into the wall. There was flag that went around.
King Cameron runs right ahead of Blade, and Riddle U has now fallen behind Link's down out. Prime moves up in the 3rd position now.
Prime.
Blade is now on the outside, and nobody's working with Blade. Dino's going to go to the inside of the series host. He's going to try and follow King Cameron around. Now Lynx is going to give Blade a little push on the outside, but I don't know if they got that synced up well enough soon enough. All right, here it comes. He got a big run. Grumman was outside, but he abandoned it. He went to the inside. Here comes Riddle U. Riddle U's now back up to the 3rd position. He's trying to figure out a way to find Donald Prime. This track and this package makes Daytona at least 3 car lengths wide. But right now, the question is...
Oh, Dino to the outside!
Riddle U
not
pushed
yet.
Donald to the
No, he
outside,
pushed him
and he's
to the
been
outside.
rewarded. No one is willing to work with Donald Prime. So Riddle U now goes into 2nd position.
Not all of but Jackson. Oh, he went up there.
Oh, Dino did a huge block on Blade and Links and basically killed all the momentum on the outside line there. Jackson went on the outside thinking that he could follow that, but there was no momentum there. There's 4 cars all doing this incredible slam grab thing. If they keep it all hooked up, they'll have a great push.
Oh, Jesus, out there! Oh my God!
2 of them hit the outside wall, and that outside line lost all of his momentum. Jackson now falls to 4th behind Broman, and now Dino is the only driver on the outside. They had a lot of cars stacked up, but they just could not turn around. Shredder's got around. Blade's involved as well. So is Boeing Sun. Shredder is the only one still sideways, but a multi-car accident and turns 3 and 4.
Oh, I must have. But they are still going green. Green. King Cameron is leading. Riddle is 2nd, and Broman in 3rd.
All right, so right now, it's all going to come down to Riddle U. How aggressive is Riddle U going to be to try and get around King Cameron? Cameron, it's all going to come down to who's willing to work with him. If Cameron holds the inside line, but 2nd and third are more committed to go to the outside. They can make this move happen. Also, I want to give a shout out to Jackson. Even though Jackson lost positions trying to make that outside line work, he's still been the biggest gainer of position since the start of this race. Him with Links right behind is very characteristic to see Links and Jackson being this strong and Jason being so weak. Again, we are still early in the race. We've not even completed 10% of this race thus far, but it still is a very unexpected and odd scenario to see this play out right now.
Yeah, yes indeed.
And you can just see how quickly these cars shuffle at this 200-mile-an-hour speedway. All these cars fighting for a chance here to win AGRL's Daytona 500. And you can see Brumman there in that little brownish tan car.
Yep,
bro. We saw earlier that him and Jackson were able to work together, pull away a little bit.
Yeah, because I believe both are Toyotas. And if memory serves me right, Shredder is the only Ford in this.
Move for second. Here comes the move for second. Brumman going on the outside. He's got Jackson Burr behind, going to give him a shove. Riddle you is trying to just stay in line behind that 44, and now Jackson has not stopped pushing Brumman. Now the gap is still wide enough. Brumman can cut back in line and keep it single file. Jackson now goes incredibly wide. And here's the thing, with the way the draft works in this game, is that you can't really have a pack with more than 3 cars in it. Right now we have a 5-car train at the front, but you can see that Links is really struggling just to keep up. What's happening is that the drivers ahead are gaining more of an advantage of the draft than the drivers behind. Typically that driver in the 2nd or 3rd position in line gets the biggest advantage in the draft right now. So 4th and 5th place in this draft, so Jackson and Links are in the biggest position of problem right now. They need to hook up and they need to do whatever they can to get Broman to make the first top 2 drivers fight. If first, second, and third save this 3-car pack like they are right now, then Jackson and Links are not going to be able to go any higher up the grid. Alright, so a little bit farther back in the grid, I'm watching here, this is Dino Prime here, right in the 9th position. He's got Cactus Man behind him, but losing the draft. Dino is pushing Ko-Fi in that number 88 machine as they come around through turns 3 and 4. There's this bit of the pack that's formed between 6th all the way back to about 10th position right now.
Here comes Dino!
Dino's got... Yeah, so Dino being way off strategy here. This could end up being very problematic if no one else pits with him. This could end up being incredibly problematic if no one else pits with him, actually.
Oh, someone is!
Here comes somebody else. Is that Shredder? It is Shredder. So these are the drivers that we anticipate will be working together. So keep an eye on them as this race goes forward.
Yes,
at the front,
Jason.
though.
We got Jason has climbed all the way up to 10th after being in the back for quite a bit. He is somehow worked up into the top 10 right now.
Alright, I look at this fight for 3rd, though, at the moment. Team Cameron runs ahead of Riddle You and Brumman. Brumman has not made any attempt to make this move happen. Dino Prime now will officially go a lap down. But again, this should come back to him. All these leaders will eventually have to pit. No real fight for position here. The top 3, though.
Yeah.
So Ko-Fi now moves up into 6th position. He has Apex Blade pushing him. And Pointy Scroll has Shredder behind him. Shredder's just trying to keep with the draft of this group and hope that he can run down Dino Prime if they can catch Dino. Where is Dino on the track right now? The answer is that Dino is actually, he's a lap, no, he's not a lap down yet, actually. Dino is still technically on the lead lap, but he is running completely solo right now.
Yeah, Shredder
is the one who's a lap down.
Yep. I know is, yeah, we just see him entering turn 3 and while right on board with King Cameron.
Also, here's another little trio to keep an eye on. Kirito is in 15th, right there with HYR Doug and Rotary 7314. Rotary was involved in an accident a little bit earlier. I was anticipating a little bit stronger run from him. And where he is now, we are still early in the race. He does have 2 cars pushing him, which should, in theory, be faster than just a single car pushing. But for now, this trio is stuck near the back of the grid. That's not going to help them out whatsoever. And they have this kind of 4-car mess up. You have Ira Buddha, Lee Cannon, Grayson Jason, and Cactus Man. They're all kind of clumped together for about 9th 12th position. They're all close enough to have to draft off each other, but not close enough to have any good, proper fighting or good, proper pushing with each other. Right now, Cactus is actually pulled away from the group. Jason's got a little bit of draft, and we're anticipating that Jason should be able to bring Elite Phantom up and make something happen in that little fray there.
Yeah, meanwhile, I'm currently on board with HYR Doug, who is somehow rattled the cage of Boeing Sun and has gotten up to 13th now. And Doug has Kirito behind him.
So I think this is going to be a really interesting event here because I'm watching our top 3 drivers. There has been no effort by Riddle U to actually make any move or position for the last several laps here. We're almost a tenth of the way through this race. Once we're at lap 21 up there in the corner, that would be the signifier. Boom, right there. That's the 1/10th way of this race. No pit stops yet has been required, although we have seen several drivers, about 4 drivers already have made some stops today trying to do the fuel gauge. Our field is relatively spread out, but the majority of everyone is still on the lead lap. The only driver a lap down at the moment is SRD Shredder. Involved in an accident earlier in single car, though we stayed green. He is now trapped a lap down, but he is running with lead lap cars at the moment, and he is trying, I believe, to hook up with his temporary for today's race teammate Dino Prime going forward here.
Yeah, definitely. Meanwhile, I'm still on board with Doug as he is caught up to IOR Buddha. He looks to try and catch up to the other three cars of Cactus Man, Elite Phantom, and Racing Jason.
So looking at the fuel that Riddle U has right now in second position, he is at 38% wear in his fuel. Our leader, King Cameron, 37%, just a little bit more. Man, who is third at the moment, he has 36% fuel. So everyone in the top 3 are close enough together that they're all probably making their stop at the exact same time. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to the way Forza works, typically the driver who got pole position, started first on the grid, is going to have a slight advantage when it comes to making their stop. So for SRD Shredder, while he's a lap down now, he should be gaining a small amount of time on pit stops as this race goes on compared to the rest of the field. I think as this event goes on, that would be something that can help Shredder. I think overall, Shredder has a good net positive in his favor as long as he does not have to worry about exhaustion or medical issues here. Now here's something else to take an eye on. I'm right on board with Man right now as they are coming up. The leaders are coming up on Dino Prime to put Dino a lap down. Again, Dino has been running these last few laps completely solo, no drafting help whatsoever. He needs to try and hook up with SRD Shredder here so that way the two of them can run. Dino's biggest problem, though, he does not use a microphone under any circumstance. That means that his ability to communicate with other drivers on the track is going to be extremely difficult. I think right now, Dino's probably just going to hold the outside line, let this team get by without too much of an issue, though.
Yes. They are coming up on him here. And He's just gonna let them all go by. Goes to the high side and let them by. He ain't gonna.
All right, a little bit farther back. I'm just noticing this a little bit farther back. There's an interesting fight with Blade, who is pushing Lynx. They're trying to run down Kofi, who is in the 5th position right now with Jackson Goes Burr. So Lynx is actually fallen back into this little fight a little bit farther back. So our top 3 have absolutely pulled away. They're kind of in a zone of their own at the moment. And your 4th and 5th place drivers have changed. Jackson Go Burr is still 4th, but is now Kofi, who has moved up into the 5th position. Lynx has Blade pushing him, and that duo of Blade and Lynx seems to be faster than the group ahead. It has now turned into a 4-car fight. Lynx and Blade need to get around to the outside now if they want to start making these positions happen. The problem, though, is that they're about to come up to lap trap in the former Dino Prime. That could have a big impact. Now this goes. There's a little bit of sideways. The idiot gets turned sideways as Lynx gets to his corner pedal. He's got to keep it together. They say nose to tail for these 4 positions, but they're going to have to break up in some way. Lynx nearly turns Popeye again in turn 3.
Ooh, yeah, I did see all that smoke coming out of Poofy's car. But he corrects it.
Dino on the outside, he does not want to get caught up in this incident. He just wants this group to get by without too much of a problem here. Kofi and Jackson will go by. Now Blade is trying to push Lynx by. Dino taps the outside wall, that's going to slow him down. But the good news for Dino is that Shredder is about to catch him on the track. Kofi continues to run with with Jackson. Lynx and Blade have a little bit of trouble hooking back up. Our top three, though, continues to stay unchanged. They are not willing to jeopardize their position at the front of the grid right now. But what I'm really interested to see is Pointy Scroll, who's currently being pushed by Shredder. Is Shredder going to end up abandoning Pointy Scroll, or will Pointy Scroll have to end up making a stop before Dino and Shredder properly hook up? Because here's the thing, we are going to come up very quickly to the point where drivers need to stop making their fuel numbers, and they have to make fuel. We're looking at Pointy Scroll right now, 20% left in his fuel tank at the moment. He's going to have to pit soon, but not soon enough, because Shredder and Dino have now caught each other. Shredder is going to abort with Pointy Scroll. He's going to hook up with Dino on the outside. Pointy Scroll is now going to be left alone. He has the inside line for now, but there is a two-car train on the outside, although Shredder and Dino briefly get separated. But while these drivers are all fighting, it's going to drag all of them away from their fight near the front.
Yes, indeed.
All right, there we are. Shredder now gives Dino a push around the outside. Pointy Scroll. He's going to try and hold on to the back of this duo. We know that Shredder and Dino are a good push-pull duo. They've run this setup, they've run this package numerous times before in numerous different series, but they are a lap down, and then only part of that is based off the strategy. So they have a bit of a hole to dig themselves out of. But here's the thing though, look at this. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, they're all still right on top of each other. They just can't seem to get away. I keep watching this fight, and they all oh, our leaders are slowing down. Are we under a yellow flag? We are under the yellow flag. Something has happened. I did not see anything on the map, but something has happened to warrant a yellow flag at this stage of the race. The good news for Shredder and Dino is that this will put that duo back on the lead lap. But here's the other thing, though. This means that everyone who's still on track now, they can go ahead and pit under this yellow flag, and it will basically kind of do a semi-reset. But shockingly, this is only our 2nd yellow flag of the day, but I am not sure what's happened that warranted this yellow.
Competition caution, maybe?
No, AGRL didn't do competition yellows. Now, for some reason, we have a car that is stopped on circuit, though. That is Elite Phantom, who has just stopped, or near stopped, in turn 1. And I wonder if whatever's happened involved him. I don't see any damage on the car. He still has 13% fuel, but he has fallen to 16th now. All right, he looks like he's getting back underway now. The field is mostly gathered up. All 18 drivers who started this race are still in there, and now with this yellow flag, everyone is back on the lead lap. The good news for Dino and Shredder is that they are now on the lead lap. The bad news, though, is that the rest of the field is going to be on an alternate pit strategy from them, and they're going to be starting at the back. So they may be held up for a significant period of time. They need to either charge their way from the back to the front right away, or did someone just flag out?
Nope. We are all good.
Alright, well, question now, who's going to come in? Again, there's not going to be a lot of fuel left in a lot of these cars. King Cameron only has 15% left, for instance, and it looks like the entire top 8 might be coming into the pits here. Has anyone stayed out? That is the question. Jackson Gober, he has stayed out on track. Is he the only one to stay out? No, Shredder has stayed out, Dino has stayed out, but we anticipated that duo to stay out. Well, did Lynx stay out? No, Lynx pitted. Yeah, Jackson Gober is kind of solo right now. He has nobody working with him. He's going to come lead the field to the green flag, but I'm looking at the fuel left in that car. He only has 14% left. Assuming you use about 3 to 4% in the lap under normal racing conditions, Jackson, he's only going to have, 4 laps of actual racing here? If that, maybe only 3 laps, and then he's going to have to pit. Jackson may have just shot his race in the foot, because, yeah, he's going to be leading to the green flag, but he's going to have nobody working with him here. Dino and Shredder are a completely alternate pit strap from him, and everyone else 4th on back are also going to be on completely alternate pit strap. I think Jackson has basically blown his race in the foot. Unless there's another yellow flag, I think Jackson's going to get trapped permanently a lap down because of this choice.
All the while, you got Shredder, and Dino, and everybody else.
Shredder now on the outside again on the initial.
I'm hearing. Go for it. I'm hearing Jackson is max revving.
Yeah, I'm hearing the same thing also.
Yeah, I think that might be his strategy to try and maybe save some fuel. It's just like he's not shifting.
Rev Maxine is going to burn fuel. Yeah, but Rev Maxine is going to burn fuel, not save fuel. So I don't know what's going on there, but right now he's at 12% fuel. By my calculations, Jackson's only going to be able to run for about 3 laps, and then he's going to have to pit. So unless there's a stack up right away on this restart, Jackson's going to get trapped a lap down. All right.
Here we go.
Car back is catching up. That could be interesting. Who's that in 16th who's going to catch through the field? Because he's going to be at full speed. Who's that catching the field right now? He's going to be flying near the back of the grid, I imagine. That's Jason. Jason is coming. Jason is flying at the back of the grid. Jackson's got the lead. Shredder and Dino have hooked up, and there's an accident. 2 cars have got involved, and the number 4 has gone over. That Dunkin' Donuts car has gone over.
Wow, I cannot believe that. Jackson knew it.
I mean, it wasn't a hard thing to assume, but AGRL Buddha apparently has been running sim damage, and the car is completely destroyed after that rollover. There is nothing on that car that isn't busted.
Oof.
And for Jackson, good news for him is that now he can pit, and he does not have to worry about going a lap down. It wasn't a bad strategy, but I think what happened, I believe it was Jason, who was way off the back of the field. And he tried doing a Kyle Busch 2011 Bud shootout scenario. In that scenario, Kyle Busch came rushing up to the field as the field took the green flag.
Oh, he's staying out again.
Oh, but he's not. This is not going to work.
I don't know what Jackson is thinking.
He's now down to just 10% fuel, and don't get me wrong, all these laps in the yellow flag will help him. He's going a little bit farther than anticipated, but it's still burning fuel. You're still at 10%. Right now, as it stands, again, assuming that you use roughly 3% of your tank in a lap, Jackson, I think, will only have about 2 laps to properly run here, because he's at 9% right now. He's going to probably get down to 8, maybe 7% when we finally hit the green flag.
Yeah, at some point it's going to tell him, you have to come into the pit.
Yeah, I think Jackson, by my estimation, he is projected to have to pit just due to the limit of the car at lap 33. And he is the only person on this bizarro strategy right now. Who is this who's pitted? Again, someone else is pitted near the back. Who is that back there? That is AGRL Buddha. Oh yeah, Buddha had to repair the damage to the car. So he's going to be trying to rush up to catch the rear of the grid here.
Or maybe they told him it was a false start.
No, it's not a false start because the field didn't reset back to the order it was before. So that is definitely being confirmed as an official start. Again, I'm looking at Jackson. He has 9% left in the tank. I cannot see any way that he goes longer than lap 33 unless we have more yellows. And even if we have more yellows, he has to pit. They have to come. AGRL Buddha is rushing to catch the rear of the grid right now. So, Dramora, keep an eye on AGRL Buddha. Swap your camera to Buddha as we come to this green flag just to make sure that he doesn't end up catching the rear of the field here. No, never mind. He'll catch him at a fine time. So we're not going to have a repeat of what happened with Jason. So Buddha will catch the rear of the field fine. Okay, Jackson only has 8% left in the tank. As we come out of the restart zone, will Jackson be able to hold the lead against Shredder as we go green once more here at Daytona? Jackson goes below the double yellow.
And he can do that.
well, it looks like he may have been pushed from behind by Kofi. He's actually got a little bit of a break from the rest of the field. Someone is in the wall there. Is that Dino? Yes, that's Dino who has gone to the wall. So Shredder has lost his teammate again. Shredder and Kofi run in second and third positions. Shredder now goes to the outside. Kofi on the inside. Jackson only has 5% left. You think he's only going to have 4% left when he hits the line here. He has to come soon. He's going to have to try and duck in the pit lane right in front of the entire field. This is not going to work out. He's now lost the lead. Kofi now goes to the top spot. And here comes... Who's that in second now? That is Cactus Man. Yeah, Cactus Man. All right, Jackson on the outside, but no one wants to work with... No, Shredder's trying to work with Jackson now, and Jackson now aborts. Jackson cuts down. He's now second on the inside, third overall. Pony Scroll is on the outside. Jackson gives a big push to that AMC-looking car.
And pointing, but...
Cactus is there. Poopy is there.
Jackson's gonna...
Jason is finally showing up for this race. It took him 33 laps, but Jackson's only at 1% fuel. He's got to come in and pits down.
He's not going to make it. He's going to cause a wreck.
He is in the middle of the field, and he's going to run out of fuel at any moment. This could be an instant, but we have a 3-car wide battle for the lead. Yes, ahead of him. The goal is 1. There's 3 wide for the lead. They're definitely going to run. They're side by side. Jackson is still fit, but he's going to run.
Yeah, he's going down.
They're into the wall. They're just playing into the wall. Playing into the wall. Solo, I think.
Jackson. Jackson too.
Jackson is out of fuel. And leader now is Kofi, but look who is in second position. I believe that is Jason. It's not over yet though. That move for the lead is coming. Kofi is getting a huge push on the outside line. The inside is being led up by Shredder. This man, Jason, trying to push Kofi on the outside. They're 2 by 2 on the front floor. And then they turn one once again. Fifth place, Pony Scroll is coming back, and he is brain rotary.
Why is he not going in?
This is there as well. They're trying to make 3 cars fit into a 2-wide scenario, and that's he's going to let Kofi open up a gap. Now Shredder is in the lead, and here comes Kofi back on the outside. Shredder has no help right now.
I think Jackson's doing something treacherous. Jackson did not go into the pits.
Jason now in second. Kofi being pushed incredibly aggressive here. Shredder's falling to third. Jason trying desperately to get by Kofi.
Oh, he got into him! He got into him, Poofy! He's rattled his cage! Jason just rattled his cage!
But now Jason is in the lead. Probably the dirtiest way you're ever going to see it happen. But Jason turns Kofi. Kofi barely keeps it together. We stay green. But I imagine that will get looked at post-race because that was pretty much as aggressive as a dump as you could get. And Kofi now is going to drop out of the top 5 position. And your driver in second is now Rotary. Third place is Shredder. So like I was saying earlier, Jason is a little posse. Now they're at the front. It's Jason and Boeing. Also known as Jason Rotary there. Shredder is third. Shredder, is he going to try and push Boeing or Rotary around Jason? That's going to be a big question because right now, Shredder is the only man in this battle who's not under Jason's little posse. Everyone else in the top 4 is working with Jason in some way. So Shredder is not even on the same fuel strat as these drivers. I think Shredder is screwed right now. Unless someone's going to work against Jason and instead help Shredder out, I think Shredder is screwed, and I think his race might be ended here. Again, Shredder has less fuel than the drivers around him because Shredder, along with Dino Prime, are on an alternate fuel strat. Dino has completely lost touch with the lead group at the moment. Oh, wow! What is Boeing doing? He barely turns himself off of Shredder's front bumper. Shredder tries to turn Boeing. Here comes Shredder on the inside.
Oh, Jason!
Oh, there's the one! Still over the top of that green car, nearly hits the fence. Shredder now leads, and they're still wrecking. Get everywhere. That's gonna be a yellow for sure. Well, That was interesting. Shredder in third place pushed our second place driver, Rotary, into our leader, Racing Jason, and it caused an incident right in the front of the field. We saw Jason do that earlier to that number 88 car, and now we see the same thing happen to Jason. This is really going to have a massive knock-on effect on this race, but here's the thing. The thing that I really don't understand, our last place driver, Jackson Gobert,
he never came in.
Utterly out of fuel. Yeah, he was out of fuel.
I don't know what he was thinking.
I don't know either. He's still creeping, but he's creeping on this momentum and the momentum you gain from doing the shifts. He's going to go multiple laps down here. Shredder's going to give him a push and try to push him back into the pits, I imagine. But I don't know what Jackson was thinking. He had
Jackson's doing
opportunities to pit.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like
Shredder's trying to help.
I was thinking of something level
pits,
or something like.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what Jackson was thinking.
Well, Shredder was nice enough. He's given Jackson a big push, and Jackson will be able to pit now. But he's
or
still
if he chooses not to, he's gotta have to.
No, he's pitting now. For sure, Blade will at least say, hey, you're required to pit. You don't have any fuel. You can't just be hanging out on the side of the track. But Jackson, 3 laps down. Now, there are several other drivers near the front pitting. Shredder is pitting. I believe Dino's pitting as well. There's several drivers pitting. But Jackson, 3 laps down now. I'm going to be honest. Jackson, despite being very confident under draft, he is out of contention of this race. Unless we have a bunch of yellow flags all on top of each other and Jackson get a bunch of his laps back, I think he's out of this race. I don't see any way that Jackson can get back on the lead lap and then cut back up through the field. Everyone knows that Jackson's one of the best drivers out here under this current package. No one's going to work with him if they think that Jackson could end up screwing them over late in the event.
Yeah, he literally fucked himself. He literally shot Eddie.
I don't care. I set my
he killed any chance he had.
Audiences. You can curse, just don't do it excessively.
He fucked himself over. He literally fucked himself over.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with that. I don't know. The only thing I can imagine is that there was some sort of glitch that caused him to not be able to see what the fuel was.
That's my thinking.
But even then, he should have felt the car lose power all of a sudden in turn 2 and losing power down the entire back straight. And you would think that you would at least pit when you realize that for some reason your car is out of fuel or out of power. Anyways, he is multiple laps down, but our leader, after Shredder pit, our leader has now gone back to being Keen Cameron. He led the first few laps of this race, and now he is leading once again with Pointy Scroll and Brahman behind him. So 2 of our top 3 are drivers who were near the top 3 early in the event. So I think Brahman and King Cameron are kind of establishing themselves as drivers to watch today.
Yeah, but then you also got Racing Jason's up there in 5th right now.
Yeah, Jason's finally shown his card, shown his hand, and we're going to be coming to the green flag now. Can you go ahead and keep an eye on Jackson back there? Make sure that he doesn't climb to the rear of the field and cause an accident as we come to the green, because he's going to have a lot more speed than the leaders as he catches them here.
Here they go.
As we have green flag once more. Oh, wow, they're all sideways. That bronze car got really sideways, and there's an accident. This is a big one. Going in turn number 1.
And he's going to go on the outside. Whoa.
The track was blocked, and multiple cars involved in that scenario. I think Brahman went around right in front of the field. I saw several other drivers involved. But it looks like we're staying green. And now Jason has moved up into 3rd, and he's pushing Pointy Scroll. We saw earlier Jason turn a driver so he could get the lead. I don't think he got to do that this time, though. It looks like he's just going to push Pointy Scroll around the outside. As long as Pointy Scroll doesn't make any mistakes, I think it should be an easy overtake here. And yeah, King Cameron, with no drafting help whatsoever, will immediately lose position to Jason and Pointy Scroll. Like I said, Jason has more friends in this field than anybody else. And I think as long as Jason is still on the lead lap, he is going to be the driver that decides who wins this race or not.
Yeah. We're only getting close to like a quarter of the way. We're almost 1/8 of the way. Kind of a quarter of the way there.
There's been a big spread in the field now. I'm looking at King Cameron. He's the only one able to keep pace with our leaders at the moment. And then you have fourth place Cactus Man, but Cactus is just trying to sniff the draft off of King Cameron. But even if he catches King Cameron's draft, because of the way the draft works, it's not going to be enough. He's not going to be able to actually play any part in this fight. Pony Scroll leads, Racing Jason in second, and Jason's kind of dicing it up just a little bit there with our current leader. I don't know exactly what the strategy is, but there's definitely a little bit of dicing going on. If we round towards the group cam with our third place driver, King Cameron here, Jason does not run the exact same line that our leader does throughout. I wonder if there's a possibility that this Mobile 1 car wants to try and push Jason around Pointy Stroll, get this duo side by side, just so it backs the field up and there are more drivers in play that they can use against Jason here.
And we will just have to wait and see for now. Pointy continues to lead here.
Jason looking to a little bit high side. He's got that Mobile 1 car right behind. Cameron is really willing to push Jason. He is really trying to make something happen here at the front. But I think Jason, I don't know if Jason's trying to mess with Point School or if he's just teasing our third place driver. Our top three are all on top of each other, but there's no serious moves being made.
Look through the field, and we got ourselves right in between, right behind Cactus Man, who's in fourth. We got kind of a good number of cars. It's looking like it might be 7 here soon. We're about to be 8 since they're catching up to Cactus. It looks like they might be
right now in fourth, leading this little posse.
Yep, it's about to probably be 8 cars in this line.
Blade being pushed by Flag, and Flag now goes to the inside of Blade. He's got Riddle Youth with him. So Cactus holds on to fourth for the moment as they go side by side for the 5th position.
Flag gets by him, and he's got a top 5. He's in the top 5 right now. Got those cars in the back. See, it's a good guy, a certain amount of cars. It's the lap car of Jackson, and then we got Kirito, Doug, and Lynx.
Yeah, Kirito's just been hung out on the outside all by himself, and they're fighting again ahead of this group. But this is not going to work out for Kirito, because while they're fighting ahead, he is losing positions. They're all close, and this is about to turn into a big kerfuffle here from about 4th all the way to about 10th. And then you also have that lap car of Jackson. They're all going to be right on top of each other if this keeps up, and that could be recipe for disaster. Lynx pushing Doug around the outside of Jackson. I think he's just trying to ditch that lap car. Oh, Doug slams into Jackson from the side. Lynx gave him a bit too much of a shove, and Jackson gets knocked off the double yellow.
Here they come. They are single file now. All 4 of those, including the lap car. Lynx sends Doug. Yeah, he sends Doug to the outside. Lynx gonna take 8th place from him. It's gonna be Lynx, Doug, lap car of Jackson, and Kirito.
All right, meanwhile, back at the front of the field, it's still the same trio that we had after the restart. We still have Pony Scroll leading Racing Jason, and 3rd place King Cameron runs behind. This is what I was talking about in the pre-race. It's going to be the driver who's second, who basically controls everything. Right now, Jason is very content to let his friend Pony Scroll lead laps here. And while I do believe that King Cameron is faster than this duo, he has no drafting help. He can't actually do anything. Every now and again, I'll see him put together a lap where he's actually able to close and maybe pretend to get alongside Jason. But it doesn't matter. You can't make moves here at Daytona unless there's a massive speed differential. You're all pumped up like this. The only way to get that massive speed differential is if you have somebody willing to work with you in the draft.
Yeah. We're looking and seeing Flag, but it might not be for long, I think. Kane is hoping this 2-car tandem of Flag and Blade catch up.
Thing is, though, Flag would also be working with Jason in this scenario. So all it would do is it would turn a situation where you have 2 cars and a 3-car group together, to where you would have 3 cars and a 5-car group together. Cameron is now starting to lose time to our top 2. I wonder if maybe he's gonna try and back up to Blade and Flag back there and try to get a run with that trio. But again, I don't know if that's gonna be enough. I'm looking at the fuel numbers. Cameron will, oh, there's a move for 4th. Well, there was a move for 4th. It looks like they got sorted back out. But for a moment, though, Blade looked like he was making a move on Flag, but he's falling back in line behind him.
Yeah, because they want to try and catch up to these guys.
And Cactus Man continues to run in 6th position with the entire field gap behind, entire rest of the field pretty much behind him.
Yeah, the gap is decreasing. They are catching them. Like, the gap between Flag and King Cameron is less than 300 feet. They are closing in on them.
Fight for 6. Riddle U has gotten to the inside of Cactus Man, and Cactus has no help. Lynx is going to work with Riddle U, I imagine. No, Lynx is actually working with... Oh, wow, that's unexpected. So Lynx actually ends up working with Cactus Man, but Riddle has the inside line. A little bit of contact, and Lynx is now going to abort, and he'll go to the inside. So Cactus Man's going to fall from 6th to 8th now due to this.
They are closing. Less than 200 feet now.
Blade pushing Flag. They should have the draft.
Big time they are catching. Big time they are catching them. And there is a lap car.
Yeah, that lap car could cause a bit of an issue, but King Cameron is going to be the big block. How long does it take for Flag and Blade to get around King Cameron?
Or maybe they're going to work with him.
Seems like for now they're willing to work with him. Alright, Flag goes to the outside now. No? And Blade might be aborting Flag. Yeah, Blade is not with
No, they're
Flag.
not aborting. They're not aborting. They are not aborting.
Floydie and Jason have gotten separated in 1st and 2nd, so this trio is now going to be faster than our leaders at the moment. Man's going to be the wild card in this because he is a lap down now and he wants to stay on the lead lap by any means necessary. But he's going to have to run a little bit wide because he just does not have anyone working with him. But here's the thing, Man's little position there really split the gap up. So now 2nd place is way farther ahead from Cameron than where it was earlier. So we have this little trio here, and for brief moments they're faster than the leaders. But those 2 cars at the front seem to have an easier time hooking up than this trio does.
Yeah, but they might be getting back together again. Or maybe.
Man now hooks up behind Blade and is giving Blade a push.
That makes it 3 cars. That's going to make it 4 cars here.
Yeah, but again, the way the draft works, in the 4-car draft, the 4th car eventually will fall off. So Man will have an advantage now, but it will fade away as this goes on. But now we have 4 cars against 2 cars. I wonder if they can do anything to our current leaders. Cameron gets all turned sideways in the tri-oval. Blade is better at pushing, I think, than Flag is right now. But they are closing back on our top 2 for the moment. This is not, I did not anticipate this, but yes, this foursome is closing on our lead pair.
Up a little bit again.
We are over a quarter of the way through the race. I think the gap is just about stabilized. I think our top 2 has issues. Interesting thing is that of the 18 cars that started this race, we still have 16 of them on the lead lap right now.
Yeah.
And then our 17th place driver, who's the first driver lap down, he is running right now just behind our top 5. So he would easily get back onto the lead lap just if we hit a yellow flag, or even if we stay green, I think that he's only this far back because he made a stop. So even if we stay green, I think he'll get back onto the lead lap here. Fight for the lead. Jason is fighting there. He got a little bit sideways with point scroll.
Oh, but I think he realizes because that
little moment of side-by-side action has just sucked third, fourth, and fifth up to it. Brumman is losing touch with this group, but we have 3 cars now running down on our top 2, and King Cameron is going to have a massive push. He's going to have draft push from behind and a big toe from ahead. This is going to be Cameron's best chance. He needs to commit to the outside.
Or here they come again. Here comes flag again.
Blade's now starting to lose touch just a bit.
And they're going in!
Our top 2 are pitting. So Cameron now inherits the lead with Flag in second and Blade in third. So now green flag pit stops are underway, and things are going to get a little bit interesting now because the ability to pit and come out of the pit nice and clean will have a massive effect on the way this race plays out. We are now under what I would consider at least a long green flag run. A lot of drivers who are pitting. Is anyone in our top trio pit this time around?
Yep,
yeah,
all three of them are. Yep, all 3.
Fourth place, who was kind of running by himself, he's going to pit. That's Riddle U. So our new leaders are going to be, oh, guess what? It's finally happened. It's going to be Dino Prime with SRD Shredder. This duo have been on a slightly alternate pit strat for almost the entire day. They've adjusted it a few times, but they have been on an alternate pit strat from the rest of the field all day long. Their damage telemetry right now says they still have about a third of their tank left. So this duo will be good for a long time. I see drivers ahead of them that come out of pit lane, but I don't know if they're going to catch any of them and actually put any of them a lap down. Brumman, who's for the moment back on the lead lap, will be the next driver at risk of going a lap down. Then after that, Elite Phantom is all the way back in 16th position. Actually, no, I'm wrong. I think most of the field is actually a lap down on technicality now, aren't they?
Not technically.
No, not quite. I'm over-exaggerating, yeah. Our top 14 drivers are still on the lead lap. 14th is Rotary, and I believe he's already been out for a while. The problem, though, is that Rotary does not have anyone working with them in the draft. In fact, the big thing right now is that there are a lot of drivers who don't seem to have anyone working with them in the draft. Did someone just lag out? Brumman has dropped out of the event. Buddha, IRO Buddha. He will be our first DNF of the day.
And we'll...
Oh, there's been an accident. There's been an accident coming out of turn 4. Well, so much for the green flag run, but that'll be a multi-car accident out of turn number 4.
That's Jason Doug, who is in 12th. That is Point Scroll.
For anyone who was a lap down or about to go a lap down because they didn't have any partners, they're now going to be helped because they get not only to the field, get all bunched back up, but they will now be in the middle of the pack and they can potentially have partners again. All right, and coming into the party right now is IOR Buddha. Buddha, go ahead, include your audio. First DNF of the day, about a third of the way through the race. What happened that took you out? Buddha, can you hear us?
I don't think... Buddha!
Yeah, And before he doesn't have a mic.
Oh yeah, you forgot he doesn't... I don't think he does. Oof. Or maybe he's trying to find one? I don't think he is.
No. Either way, so for now, Brumman is a lap down, but I do think he should be allowed, I think, from my understanding of the rules, he'll be waved by and allowed to get back on the lead lap here. Jackson has already gone by. He's going to get one of his laps back. Oh, Pointy Scroll. I think that's Pointy Scroll just had an accident under the yellow flag. I think he got ran into from behind and turned in turn 3. Well, Dino Prime and SRD Shredder lead now. And again, this duo is on a different fuel strat from the rest of the field. Almost everyone else has just pitted. This duo has still about a little less than a third of the tank. I think they have about a third of the tank left. We're seeing some drivers pit, but not all of them. So our fuel strategies for the field continue to splinter apart. We're really not seeing a whole one dominant strategy now. It's all just kind of splintering apart. So we are now down to 17 drivers at this stage of the race. Again, I think the strongest man here is Racing Jason. As long as Jason's allowed to just go out there and just knock someone out of the lead ahead of him, I think Jason has the entire ability to run this race. Jason has been able to close up on other drivers like no one else I've seen before. He's been able to turn other drivers in a way where they can save it, but they lose a lot of time in the process. I think right now this is still Jason's race to lose. That's not to say he hasn't won by default, but I would say it's his race to lose. I imagine Dino and Shredder are a little bit frustrated because this duo was in a great position. If they just kept running the way they were, they would have been able to catch a large chunk of the field a lap down, and they could have just continued running with each other and not had to worry about being turned by other drivers here, like what may happen now. Shredder has not been the greatest on restarts. Dino has been good on restarts, but not all of them. The drivers behind, though, are going to be absolutely hungry and vicious here. It's going to be King Cameron, who has led the most laps, I believe, thus far today, and then Flag, who will be in fourth. I think Jackson's finally got back on the lead lap also because of how long this yellow flag was. I think Jackson just barely is going to get back on the lead lap.
Yep, he's on the lead lap. Yeah.
All right, so Jackson got lucky, and a long yellow flag gets him back on the lead lap here as we're coming to the green flag once again on lap 62. Technically 63, but realistically 62. Green flag, Dino inside, Shredder outside. Who has the better run?
Shredder has the better run over his pseudo teammates.
Oh, 2 cars in the wall. Oh, 3 cars, 4 cars. That may be a big multi-car incident back there. Yes, at least a third of the field in the back. Correct. That would probably be another yellow flag then.
Yep.
Kofi was involved. Jason was involved. Kirito was involved. I think this is going to be great news. I think Shredder intentionally let off when he saw an incident was going to happen. He has backed off now, so he will not be lining up second. He will be lining up third on this restart. And because of that, he will now be behind Dino. As long as Dino doesn't have a missed shift or anything, assuming they're doubling up properly, Shredder should be right behind Dino and should be able to push him forward. This yellow flag might have benefited this duo.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, this is assuming that Cameron doesn't get a similar good push from Riddle, who will be in fourth. Driver pitting farther back there, I believe that's Blade was pitting. And I believe there's one more driver back there. I think that would be the man who went several laps down earlier. That would be Jackson, who I believe is pitted as well with him. Yeah, so Jackson and Blade pit. They're going to be 16th and 17th. But yeah, the fuel strategy in the grid is now all over the bloody place. I look right... That's not the telemetry I wanted. I'm looking right now at Shredder, who's going to be restarting third. He's going to be on the same pace with Dino. They have 28% left in that tank. Second place, King Cameron. He is going to have 90% left in the tank. Fourth place, Riddle U. He's going to have about the same, 89% left in the tank. Lynx, who is in fifth, he's running around with about 86% in the tank. Sixth place, Flag, who was up there in the fight for a lead earlier, still 90%. Cactus Man in seventh, he pitted with the leaders earlier, 89%. So again, right off the start, Dino and Shredder, they might be hooked up. They should be able to pull away from the field a bit if everything goes well. However, they will have to pit, and they may be at risk of going a lap down. They are on a radically alternate pit stop strategy from the rest of the field. But if we have a really long green flag run, this duo could significantly upend everyone else's run here. But we need a long green flag run. We need to go through at least one full set of green flag stops and then several laps afterwards without a caution flag for this duo strategy to really start playing out. Again, if either of those two, Shredder or Dino, have an instant on this restart, it's all going to go sideways for them. We still have 17 of our 18 starters on track due to this long yellow flag. Jackson has gotten back on the lead lap but ran himself completely out of fuel in the first half of this race. Coming to the green flag once again. That 44 is on the outside. The 77 is on the inside.
He's got his... We are back green here at Daytona.
Riddle, you had a better start than Shredder did, I think. But Lynx is now giving Shredder a push. I think the inside line's actually going to have a good run here. Shredder just needs to make sure that Cameron doesn't cut down and break that draft. Lynx is still there behind Shredder. Flag aborts on the outside line. The outside line fading apart.
Oh, what? What?
Yellow flag.
Multiple cars involved again at the back. And it is Oblade Jackson Kirito.
I think Cameron now knows what Shredder is trying to do, and he's now going to try and force Shredder to start second on the outside and forcibly break this pair up. And by doing so, that is going to nerf any ability that Shredder and Dino had making this strategy work. Well, this is the part of the race that we all dread, the part where it's just stupid restart after stupid restart and the field can't actually get any laps under them. The longer this goes, the more and more it's going to hurt this duo of Dino and Shredder at the front of the field. If I was in their position, I would honestly consider hitting now and just get away from the rest of the field, start in the back, so that way I don't have to worry about everyone else, because yeah, this is just going to be an absolute mess right now as it stands.
Yes, indeed.
And we're still not halfway through this race. We're only now at we're on lap 65 out of 200. Again, that 202 up there, the first lap is a pace lap, doesn't count. And the last lap is a cooldown lap, that also doesn't count. So technically we're on lap 65 of 200, so not quite a third of the way through this race. Yeah, I don't see any way that this works out well now for the duo of Dino and Shredder. Unless they want, I will throw this out there, if that duo wants to go ahead and pit coming to the green flag, they will come out well behind the rest of the field, but they should be close enough that they will not be at risk of going a lap down. But I think they might still be trying on the strat to try and hook up, maybe. They both have about a quarter of their fuel tank left, so they should be able to run about 7-8 laps before they're required to pit. The problem is 7-8 laps after a restart, even if we're green all the way through, that's 7 to 8 laps that the duo has to hook up, and 7 to 8 laps that these two have to move forward. I don't think it's going to work for them. I think now that they're starting side by side and not nose to tail, I don't see any way that this duo can make it work. I think Lynx or Cameron is going to push one of the two ahead, and the other one is just going to drop through the field. Alright, coming to the green flag. No one pitted under this yellow, so everyone right now is burnt through about the same amount of fuel. No one's reset their numbers. Coming to the green flag. Shredder outside, Dino inside. Shredder, despite having pole, has not technically led a lap today. Can he change that now? Will he even try to change it now?
Green flag.
Lynx gives that number 10 car a big push on the outside. The inside line didn't get the great ideal run that they were looking for. There's still nose to nose at the front. Lynx is giving Shredder this gigantic push, but Dino on the inside seems to be a little bit smoother for the moment. Yeah, this duo at the front just can't seem to hook up. They're too aggressive behind. There's all sorts of pushing here. There's still nose to nose. Shredder pulling ahead a little bit. going down the back straightaway into turn 3. Dino's trying to back up King Cameron, and AGRL dug behind. Shredder is on the outside with really no actual help. Oh, a bit of a touch, and Dino goes wide. He drops below the double yellow. And now here comes Shredder, runs to the outside, and Dino pitted without Shredder. Dino pitted solo. Shredder did not run with him. So this duo is now
because Cameron split them off.
Now Shredder needs to try and get back by Cameron, or try and figure out a way to pit as soon as he can so he can hook back up with Dino, and their strategy isn't torpedoed to the end of this race. Riddle U now comes to the inside. Riddle U goes below the double yellow. He's going to lose a bunch of time trying to work back. Here comes Lynx, AGRL, Doug, and Flag on the outside. Shredder going to pit.
Doug, you up there, man?
Shredder is going to pit. Yes,
Shredder, go in there.
Shredder's going to do everything he can to try and stick together with Dino here. But our second place driver is now LMP Lynx. Oh, exit farther behind, 2 cars around. That's Brahman and Rotary who have gone around going into turn 1. Stay green though. Flag inside, AGRL Doug pushing Lynx on the outside, and Cameron is being pushed by Flag. Racing Jason is now back in the pits once again.
Oh, Doug ditches Lynx! Doug ditches Lynx!
They're nearly 3 wide coming out.
Oh, even picking Doug up to 3rd! Here comes Jason on the inside!
And Lynx now falls outside the top 5. Everyone's just right training him. Here comes Blade, nearly makes it below the double yellow. King Cameron though leads once again. Oh, big quick! He's gonna get turned! He's turned 16! He saves it! He saves it! But bunches the field up, and here comes Jason with a huge head around the outside! Huge head of steam, that is, not big ego. Yes, Jason has a good ego, but I mean, to be fair, he's not earned it. Jason's backed up, so that way he's now right even with Flag. So for the moment, that 44 King Cameron continues to lead. Cameron holds the inside, but Jason has his entire posse with him, and I think they're all just going to go to the outside and try freight train King Cameron on the outside. I don't think any, 3 cars on the outside, 1 car on the inside.
Flag is going to try, Flag is trying to hold the block!
Jason really, very nearly turned Flag there. Flag's on the outside.
Oh, he gets it!
Oh, no! There's 3 wide going down the next straightaway, trying to turn over 3. Jason under the
Oh, he got him! He owns him! He owns him! Holy! Flag hook Jason!
And there's a multi-car accident in turn 4!
Oh! Yeah, Flag, Doug, and Jason!
As well.
Oh!
Rotary was involved! Flag! Doug was involved!
Oh, that must have... Oh, we were right on full. And I was right.
Between teammates.
I wouldn't know if they'd be teammates, considering... I would think more of like Flag and Doug maybe might be more teammates, considering they're both in colic-looking cars.
Well, either way, yellow flag once again.
Oh, that is...
Shredder and Dino, that's so frustrating. They need a long green flag run to make this strategy of theirs work, and all these yellow flags just work against them every single time because it forces them in a position where they have to fight with other drivers on track. As long as these leaders were fighting and bouncing off of each other like they were, that duo was in a great position. But now that the field's all gathered up, they're going to be right there behind this group, and they're going to have to deal with the fallout of their fighting. But I want to give big credit, big props to King Cameron. He got hooked at least 3 different times. He kept that thing together. King Cameron is showing an incredible amount of car control at speeds nearly 214 miles an hour going into turn 3, and he is keeping that thing nice and steady, nice and straight. I don't care what anyone says, King Cameron right now is probably the most impressive driver to watch when it comes to his car control. He has been rammed, slammed, thank you man, so many times over, and he still continues to lead.
Yeah, a lot of people have been trying to get by him, but it's...
Flag and Kirito and Brahman all going to pit near the back of the field. Oh, wow, that is a lot of drivers near the back of the field all pitting. So now the field split in about half, and someone may have just wrecked coming in the pit lane. Something happened to the lead Phantom. Yeah, he missed pit lane. So Elite Phantom has went to pit, but he missed pit road, and he is actually going to reverse on track. I don't think that's allowed, but he has plenty of fuel. He could go around again, but yeah, I don't know what happened there, but Phantom missed the pit lane entry. He's going to go to dead last. So now this puts Shredder and Dino up into 8th and 9th position, so they're going to be right in the eye of the storm in the middle of the field on this restart. Goofy is ahead of them, and he was involved in that accident. Now all of a sudden he's up into 7th. Riddle U is up. Jackson go Burr. Remember earlier, Jackson was out of fuel, stalled on the track, 3 laps down. Now he's back in the top 5 positions. Cactus Man is in 4th, where he has stayed a good chunk of this day. Lynx is up in 3rd now, and then you have 2nd place is Pony Scroll, and our leader is King Cameron. This is shaping up to be an interesting restart here, because King Cameron has been basically unassailable.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, it surprises me how few people have tried to find a way around him in this race.
I still think, though, that overall Jason has the advantage and will be the one who decides who wins this race.
Yeah,
but if Jason, for some reason, is not in the top 5...
Yeah, literally, you're saying that. Literally, we got King Cameron is like Uno reverse card.
Yeah, right now, is the way it's looking, if Jason is not in the top 5 in the last 10 laps of this race, I think it's going to end up being King Cameron who ends up deciding the potential victory of this race, considering that he has probably been the best at controlling the car, getting completely sideways, and holding his position. All right, coming to the green flag once again. Will Lynx give Cameron a significant shove? Will it be the outside line with Pointy Scroll trying to take the lead as they come to the green flag once again at Daytona for the start of lap 73?
Here we go. Cameron gets a great restart, and
Lynx to his Lynx, double a
and here
yellow.
comes Jackson on the middle. Jackson in the middle.
Jackson is flying. Jackson's up in a second.
Oh, he got it! Oh, he got it!
Right in front of the field. Well, that's one way to take him out. That's one way to remove him from the grid. There's still wrecking going into turn 2. That's one of the Celsius cars. Well, yeah, that was I can't confirm that was
Jackson's gone. Jackson is gone.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Well, this is an interesting dilemma here. We got the, technically, in some cases, because both of them are Hendrick cars, the Hendrick drivers of Poofy and Lynx, 1, 2, and then we got one of the HYR cars.
And King Cameron has now dropped to dead last, 15th overall. I'm really sad that we were allowed. Riddle U is actually going to go ahead and pit because he's the only one to pit at the moment, so that could bite him in the ass later on when it comes to strategy. Yeah, no one else is pitting with him. But Lynx now leads.
HYR
is second, and now third is Pointy Scroll. And here's the crazy thing, Dino and Shredder, despite being right in the eye of the storm, they missed that, and now that duo is up in 4th and 5th position. Again, they're on an alternate pit strat. If that duo gets a good run, they could get into the lead, and under a long green flag run, which we've only had one thus far, but if we have a nice long green flag run, I think that duo could really start making hay and ruining other people's days. But if we keep having these yellow flags and these restarts like we have, yeah, I don't see that happening. Right now, though, here's the interesting thing for me. I'm looking down. Jason's back there in 7th, but he doesn't have any real... He has one friend, Rotary, right behind him, but everyone else around really isn't in his camp right now. Lynx and Pointy Scroll are up there together, but they've not exactly, as far as I can tell, it doesn't look like they've been on the most friendly terms. Kofi is there in 2nd. He's going to be pushed by Dino Prime on this restart. This is going to get really weird. Not bad weird. This will be interesting weird on this restart.
I do want to clarify, it's Poofy. I've heard him say it's pronounced Poofy.
Oh, it's Poofy. I've been saying Poofy. I mean, I see that double U.
Yeah,
I see 2 U's in a row, and I think it's...
Yeah, you see, yeah, it's Poofy. It's just clarify, it is Poofy.
All right, well, he needs to do a little poofy on the rest of the field and poof away from them into the lead.
Poof away, yep.
16 of our 18 starters still in this race as we are just about past the 3/8 mark. And they're going to be starting lap 75 as they come to the green flag here. I know in other series, we've not had a lot of proper green flag runs for a while. We had a long green flag run earlier, but it's just all been kind of stuck up with each other in these constant restart instances for a while. Hopefully we actually get a nice green flag run here. Lynx!
There we go.
Right with Pointy Scroll behind him. Pointy Scroll did not get the ideal run. Shredder goes below the double yellow. Jason trying to make something of it as well. Oh, and there goes a Celsius car around right in front of a Red Bull.
Oh, that's a flag in there too.
Will they stay green?
Yes, both one was able to go. They will stay green.
Blade now pushes Dino down the straight.
Oh, here comes
Shredder is pushing
Dino
up
and
57.
Maid.
Goofy is on the inside. There's a 4-car train on the outside, only 2 cars on the inside though. And that inside duo is not well hooked up at the moment. Blade is giving Dino the shove of his life right now. Pointy's now pulled up behind him.
Here comes
comes
Dino.
high. Lynx tries to block Dino, went into one, then chops back down. Inside line is now a little bit better formed at the moment. Shredder is 4th on the inside. Does he abort and go to the outside? Because if he does, that will have a big impact on how this goes. Oh, Dino is now going to have
Poofy trying to squeeze himself in there. Trying to squeeze him in there. Oh, and Poofy ditched. Poofy ditched. Oh, Lynx. Oh, that's
and Dino
that's a.
And that's going to take Dino out of the race. Dino is shoved into the wall. Yeah, I think hope's over for Dino and Shredder. Even when both of them are at the front, they keep getting turned by other drivers, and they're not going to be able to do anything. Dino and Shredder can't do anything. There goes another incident. That's Poofy, who's gone around at the back of the field solo. Is that the yellow?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's a yellow. I wish AGRL instituted something, and we have an accident under the yellow flag now. Who is that that's gone off? That is Rotary, I think, who's just gone off. Got spun coming out of turn 2. I wish AGRL had a rule where, like, after a certain number of yellow flags in a row, you are required to run a certain number of green flag laps. Doesn't matter what happens. Other racing series I've seen that run at Daytona do something like that. And I think we need that here because we've not been able to go more than 2.5 laps without a yellow flag for a while now. This has gotten ridiculous. Either that or we need something to split up and spread out the field. If that means you can't pit under the yellow flag, so some drivers, when they pit, they can only pit coming to the green and it spreads the field out. They need something because everyone's right on top of each other and everyone's making these stupid mistakes and it keeps bunching up the field for the yellow flag and causing more and more of these stupid incidents. Blade is the only driver pit, but Jason may have cut the entry line. Okay, no, several other drivers from the back are pitting as well. But, this is just getting frustrating as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
Alright, so the field's all gathered up again. We're going to be coming down to lap 79 here. So I'm going to do something a little bit different. Considering that we just keep having these restart accidents, I'm actually going to ride on board with our last place driver, HYR Doug, on this restart and see if we can actually catch one of these things as it happens ahead of him on this restart.
This will be an yeah. Little love tap between Doug and Flag.
All right, keep an eye on the leaders for me and call it out as it happens.
All right.
I'm going to be silent for a lap and right on board with our last place driver, AGRL Doug, on this restart. See what this restart looks like.
Got Kirito's. Yes, we got a few people who've been Kirito's at the front now. And here we go. We are green. Lynx is going to get a big push from Jason there. Ooh, but they're all going to come from the back. Boy, he clears Jason. Oh, they're back. They're wrecking again. Lots of cars back there. Who was it?
Cactus Man is involved, along with MRT Kirito, Poofy, King Cameron, and Riddle U. This has become an absolute farce. Lynx, Pointy Scroll, and Jason now at the front.
We got somebody in here. We got, welcome to the chat, KTM 717. It said, how do I get in on this? You know, there is, I believe, if I could.
You can go ahead and you can look up AGRL, also known as Apex Racing, on Twitter. You can also on Discord search up Apex Blade 87 or me and Sailor 13, and we will help get you into the server and get you properly spun up for the series. All these events are run and hosted out of Discord, so if you don't have Discord, you're going to be in a little bit of an issue, though.
Yes, KTM, you joined that link, and that is where you can be able to compete in these. Our next race is, where will our next race be? I believe, our next race after this is at Sebring. So we're staying in Florida for these first two races. I just realized there's 3 cars in the top 4 that all have Hendrick numbers. 48 leading, 24 in third, and 4 in the 5 in the fourth. We are doubling up once again here.
Hopefully we can actually get a nice long green flag run, but with all this yellow flag, all the various strategies are kind of all over the place. We've had a lot of individual people pitting. We've had half the field pitting sometimes not. We've had enough runs of just starts and restarts now that people who were at the back 4 or 5 laps ago are now up near the front. It's been kind of a bloody mess.
Yes, indeed, as we are once again.
Well, Jason's entire posse's in the front now, so I don't think any of them are going to end up dumping anybody else out of the front. So, yeah. Lynx is going to have Jason pushing him. Pointy Scroll will be pushed by Rotor.
Here we go again. Here we go again. He's going to get a good jump. Dino goes to the inside. These 3 are 1, 2, 3. And I think we're all starting to realize that maybe finally we might get a long green flag run as we see.
We're only 1 lap into this. We're not even 1 lap into this. Don't jinx it for us yet. For the love of God, don't jinx it for us yet.
I won't. But we got Pointy Scroll. To the high
2 by 2
side,
at the front of the field. Pointy Scroll's got to run on the outside.
Pointy somehow got the lead.
Yeah, Jason gave him a massive shove.
Oof.
Growman gets pushed below the double yellow heading into turn 1. He needs to be careful luring back onto the track. Leak Phantom's in the wall, so is Blade further back, but it looks like they'll keep it straight for the moment.
Yes, they will.
All right, here comes Rotary pushing Lynx around the outside now. So very active at the front of the grid. Rotary pushing Lynx. Where's Jason? Who's in fourth? Who's he going to work with?
Oh, they're going to... Oh, like Jason's going to work with Pointy here. Lynx to the outside. And he's going to lead that lap right there. Pointy is still there.
The entire field is kind of stacking up now because everyone at the front is just kind of slowing each other down. We have the biggest pack we've had for a while at the front here.
Jason is second now.
Controlling the front once again. Lynx pushing Jason. It looks like it's single filed out for the top 4 positions though. Inside line has become the king once more. Dino Prime's pretty much the only guy properly on the outside. You've got Shredders trying to work with them. I don't think those 2 cars can make any progress against an 8-car train on the inside.
Oh!
In front of the field. Oh! Right in front of the grid. Lynx and Jason go around into the inside. Boeing's involved as well.
But they're gonna go. Oh, saved it.
I think that's gonna be a yellow flag, right? Or are we staying green? If we stay green, this is really gonna up in the race.
Yeah, we're.
Nope, that's a yellow. Well, we had another accident. We did not catch it, but there's been another accident coming out of turn 2. So there was not only the accident in turn 1, but there's another one in turn 2. HWR Doug's one of the drivers involved. Jason's been involved in another incident. So we had an accident going into coming out of the tri-oval, and then another accident coming out of turn 2. Well, we are still not halfway through this race. Riddle U has now dropped out of the event as well.
So that probably means, yep, Riddle U is out, meaning Doug is probably the only HYR driver in the field.
Now down to 15 cars, and somebody is driving backwards on the track. What in the devil? That is Racing Jason who is driving backwards. And 15th place, Elite Phantom, is at nearly a complete stop. I don't know what's going on there, but Phantom is a lap down at the moment. We're under a red flag, apparently.
That they're gonna let him get his lap back.
Yeah, okay, so letting him get his lap back and then they're going again. I just want to have a nice long green flag run. We had the first quarter of this race was actually very good and clean, and then after we got into the second quarter, it's just been nothing but absolute chaos. And the worst part is, like, a lot of this doesn't really mean anything. Even if we're awarding points at the halfway section of the race, that would be a lap 100 or 101 on that counter. We're still 15 laps away from that point. We're not seriously in a position to think about those kind of bonus points right now. I don't know why everyone is insisting on doing these silly, stupid moves, lap in and lap out. But everything is just come down to
they're doing all this on lap 86, and they're thinking it's nearing the end or something.
Yeah, all right, green flag, Pointy Shoal, Cactus Man. Flag runs behind as well. That AMC Javelin painted car easily pulling out ahead of the field for now. They're already 3 wide, and Blade's been turned. Blade got turned that time, and 2 cars upside down at 48 is into the fence, and Blade barrel rolls down the track as well.
Literally, this would be like what real life is. It's like that. If this were the case, you'd have multiple cars out. Pretty much everybody
what we need to do, we either need to do a single file restart, so people aren't trying to shove it 3 wide into turn 1 when they don't have control of their car. And if we can't do a single file restart, we need to do like 3 to 5 mandatory laps on green flag. Doesn't matter if the entire field was up, you need to run a number of laps on the green flag. Because the problem is that the field is so packed up that one mistake is shoveling the entire field into an incident. You need to get the field spread out. Either you do that by starting single file restart or running multiple laps under green by default. This is ridiculous, and we have drivers here who are European. It's getting stupid late for them right now.
Yeah,
it already was going to be ridiculous considering that this is going to be a 200-lap race, but we're not even at 100 laps. Before, this was a 100-lap race, and we're still not at 100 laps into this event. I think we just barely have crossed the 200-mile mark. It has gotten ridiculous the way this has gone. And we are not even fighting for actual points or track position or anything like that. It's all just become a complete ridiculous. And we were doing so good. The first score of this race was so strong and so good.
Going double.
School and flag take the lead once again. Cactus Man on the inside. They're already 3 wide in the back. Again, they're already going 3 wide. This is going to be where the incident happens. I guarantee you it's going to be something stupid in the back once again. They're already 3 and 4 wide from 1 and 2, and it looks like they might actually keep it together this time. My goodness, they're actually keeping it together. As Lynx is going to get overtaken here by HYR Doug as they come out of the back of the field, and everyone's starting to finally spread out just a little bit. We need to run several laps in a row like this, but maybe we might finally be on route for a proper green flag run here. Grayson pushing Goofy really aggressively. Pointy School held on the outside with nobody working with them. And now there's that AlphaTauri that's been hooked on the outside with no one working with him either. Now Cameron's shoved on the outside with no one working with him. So Jason pushing Goofy with Ben gets grid. Now they come up the flag. Flag is pushed wide. Cactus is now going to go wide. This comes bouncing down into Goofy. Bouncing down into Jason. But they have now moved up to second and third. flag outside. They're nearly wide. Come out. The tri-oval. And now Jason is going to dump Goofy from the field.
Try to. Not quite. Nobody has.
Yeah, but the field's around behind. And there's another car hard upside down.
Yeah, they literally need to at this point.
And what they need to do is they need to black flag Jason as well, because Jason has been the cause of at least a third of these incidents. He's been going into these corners and he'll get inside someone. He won't go below the double yellow, but he'll get right inside someone and basically make it to where they have to turn down on him, so they're all sideways. A lot of these incidents that are happening are because the guy in front is getting turned by that black 24 and bunches the entire field up right in front of everybody, and that's what's causing a lot of these issues. Now, he's not the only one. There are a lot of other people doing some really stupid stuff as well, but that's the one I'm seeing the most consistently right now.
Yeah, Jackson says unreal. It's better if we just have it be just single file. No more frickin'. There's no more frickin'.
We are coming up at the rate we're going. We will be 2 hours into this race, about the time that we hit the halfway point. Well, you're past that, but you've been streaming for a lot longer than I have.
Yeah, I've streaming a lot longer, yeah.
If we have another yellow flag, I'm going to join their voice call. I'm going to call out to Blade and tell Blade that they need to do like mandatory single file starts or mandate a certain number of laps in the green, regardless of what happens.
I think the front, look at the front, they are not. I think they were trying to say, yeah, I don't know if we're going to do double.
I will say this, this race isn't a complete wash yet. If we finally get nice and spread out and have some long green flag runs, the race can still be south, and we could still end up with a proper good run to the end here. But as it is right now, like, this has been bad. I've seen races before where there's like one quarter in the middle, which is an absolute crap show, and then the rest of the race is good. We're still not to the third quarter. Maybe things can get better, but
yeah,
this has been exacerbated. All right, green flag. Racing Jason on the inside, pointing Stroll on the outside. At least Jason doesn't have to worry about turning somebody else this time by. And already Lynx is around in the back. Looks like he's the only one around though, but there's still 3 wide farther back. I think we may see another incident here. No, they'll keep it together out of turn 2 this time.
Here's
20 Stroll fighting with Jason here. Rotary gets pushed below the double yellow briefly. Cactus Man is there. Now Blade stuck on the outside with no help. He's going to try and slip in ahead of Cactus Man, but I don't think there's going to be enough room there. Bowling Sun, also known as Rotary, kind of forces Blade wide, kind of denies him the chance to make that stick. And sideways is Boeing. Keeps it together somehow.
Yeah.
All right, Cactus now pushing Rotary, but I don't know if Rotary's actually going to try and get around Jason. To be fair, I don't know if Shredder's been pushed below double yellow, and there's another accident in the back. Single car by the looks of it, though.
It's a going again.
But now the field is finally spreading out a bit, and this is what we need. A long green flag run, the field getting nice and spread out. And there goes another car into the grass in the tri-oval, single car. That's the Red Bull. I believe that was HYR Doug just around there. I think he's the only one involved, so we stay green. But the field now finally getting spread out. Cactus Man now gets to the inside of Rotary. Turns Rotary. Rotary saves it. I don't know why Cactus thought that move would stick. Maybe he wasn't even trying to make a move. To be fair, maybe Cactus was just trying to push Rotary and they didn't line it up properly. Second and third are really trying to make something happen here. Credit to Dino. Dino has made his way back up into the 4th position. Bowling to the outside, now looks inside on Jason. Dino hitting, and he's joined by Shredder. So that duo, again, trying to get off sequence. The field finally spread out. This might be the best chance for him to make something happen being off sequence. Comes Rotary, but Cactus is not close enough to Rotary to give him the push that he would need to overcome Jason. There's another driver who put it along with Dino and Shredder. I'm trying to see who that is on the ticker above.
Lynx,
who was involved in that accident around the restart. So Lynx is going to go a lap down here. He has still not come out onto the track. I swear to God, if Lynx comes out and LePages the field, though, Lynx better not LePage the field. Still not. Okay. Cactus Man gets into Rotary again. Pointing, Cactus and Rotary all trying to put a line together to get around Jason. Jason taunts them by going below the double yellow. He is taunting this trio because he's just way better than all these drivers. He doesn't have to worry. The problem with Jason is that, yeah, Jason's has been incredibly dirty, but he's also probably, him and Cameron are in a zone of their own. No one else can do anything compared to him.
Oh, Jason's coming in. They're all coming in.
All of our top 4 are pitting. Our entire top 4 are pitting now. I'm curious where Shredder and Dino are going to come out in relation to this little foursome. Because if this duo hooked up well and they're not spending a lot of time fighting with each other, they could actually leapfrog part of that group. Not saying it will happen.
And meanwhile, we got Flag going on the outside. Here comes King Cameron. One of the favorites here in this race.
Someone's around on the track. They're stalled, and that was Bowington who was stopped right in the middle of the track. And I don't know if Shredder and Dino will be able. We're under the yellow flag. I think we're under the yellow flag again. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna have a meltdown. Not gonna have a meltdown. But this is really testing my patience here. Like to a ridiculous degree.
Calm down, dude. Don't.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing that really irritates me. It's one thing that this happens. I've seen worse. I've seen better, I've seen worse. Although this is definitely near the bottom of the grid. But I talked with Blade, because I will be leaving as an official. But as an official right now for AGRL, talked with Blade at length that this very thing was going to happen. I talked with him at length about this. And he blew me off and said, don't worry about it, we aren't going to do anything about it, and if anything's a problem in the race, we'll take care of it afterwards. We are on track to have this race take 4 hours. 4 hours to do a 500-mile race. We're averaging a speed roughly of 125 miles an hour. And that's assuming that we actually pick up. If we continue at the pace we've been doing since about we started the second quarter, it's going to be even lower than that. That's pathetic. But even so, even if we were doing a 100-lap race, technically we wouldn't even be done yet.
Yeah.
And I told the official, told the leader, this was going to happen. And I told him this would happen based off of what happened last season. I said, this is going to happen. And I was told, no, don't worry about it. Last season's Daytona race was absolutely fine, and we'll have a fine event today, even if we're making it longer. And look where we are now.
Yes. People, I mean, I can agree, people are acting like it's the last lap and there are certain laps to go when we're not even halfway. If you were to do this, literally do this for halfway. And we lost rotary. We lost Boeing. Boeing is gone.
Rawman, Blade, Goofy, Doug, all coming into the pits. This is going to be a controversial opinion. I don't think Daytona should have been the season opening race for here. I think it should have been a technical circuit like Sonoma. Race distance has officially been shortened to lap 151. So with that in mind, announcement was given under that red flag. So with that in mind, we are not racing a lap 201, we are now racing a lap 151. Also with that in mind, we will have the points for the mid-race points or stages would have already been awarded a long time ago. We would have completely missed that information. So hopefully one of us were able to see who the top 5 was when that happened.
Oof. So with that in mind, it's not the Daytona 500, it is, let's see, so that's 150.
Multiply that by 2.5.
That's about, okay, so if we're at 250, that's around
375.
Daytona 375. Here we go. Green at the now renamed Daytona 375. Flag is leading. We got Cameron right behind him.
They're 3 wide farther back. 3 and 3. Cactus Man giving that car of Jason a bit of a push here. There's gonna be an incident. There it is. Yep, there we go. Once again. 2 cars around.
I am literally starting to lose hope with this. I am. Jesus.
We're 2/3 of the way through this. We're 2/3 of the way through this. This will at least be a short yellow. We're already doubling back up, but All right. Green flag once again. Let's see who ends up wrecking this time. Right aboard the HYR Doug again. Let's see who ends up stacking it up the field this time.
And there we go.
I've given up at this point having a proper green flag run. This is going to be complete lottery to the end of this race. This time it's Jason who's turned into the outside wall. He'll keep it together this time. But he has Himmerding positions. He's going to fall outside of the top 10, all the way down to about 12, maybe even 13, maybe even dead last. Some cars still running 14th. They're side by side the midfield. At the front, it is Flag leading over King Cameron. Cameron gets turned, coming out of turn 4, but he's going to save it. Stacks the field up. There's another incident. Dino's involved, Cactus Man involved. 2 more cars right there, and they're still trying to wreck coming into turn 1.
Maybe they're just not giving a fuck now. They're just like, no more yellows. We're not doing any more yellows from now on.
Honestly, would probably be the best thing that could happen to this race right now. Credit where credit's due, HYR Doug has gone from 14th up to 9th on this restart just by virtue of avoiding incidents. But at the front, it is Flag, King Cameron, and Pointy Stroll who make up 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and our top 2 have actually pulled away from the rest of the field right now. We have an interesting little fight for 3rd, though. A bunch of drivers all on top of it. Kirita's there, Shredder is there, Lynx is there, and that's letting our top 2 just scoot away from the field a bit.
They now realize
we're finally under a green flag run. I hope that the longer this runs, the better off we're going to be. And as I say that, they just dumped 2nd place right in front of the field. 2nd place has just been dumped right in front of the field as I say that, and there's your another stack up. Can't even go 5 laps. I don't even think we went 4 laps. I think we may have only gotten 3 laps in that time, if that. And that was not counting the fact that we had 2 other accidents on this restart. Well, if it makes you feel any better, Dramora, I want to say thank you for jumping in and at least helping to tolerate some of this with me. I would hate to imagine you being here solo, because if it was just me alone, I would be absolutely exhausted. And I think if it was you alone, you'd probably be exhausted as well. Not because this has been, I mean, it was incredible for a first quarter, for the first third. Now it's been shortened to 151. It was incredible for the first third, but just it's hard to care anymore. But if it makes you feel any better, apparently the real-life NASCAR race at New Atlanta right now is just as much of a shit show, apparently. So we are not alone, at least. Yeah, but New Atlanta is just a shit track. This is just
Daytona Mini. We got shit track and shit drivers here. It's like
shit track. At least
in there, they're professional. But I bet you after when they do post-race interviews, they're gonna shit all over the Daytona Mini.
Yeah, I do. It's a shame because Atlanta was my favorite track on the schedule, and now it's without that one.
It's not Atlanta anymore. It's not Atlanta anymore.
New Atlanta. I like to call it New Atlanta. All right, green flag once again.
Here we go, green flag once again.
I'm just curious to see how long we can go until they stack it up again. I think we may have a small enough field now that we can make it through turns 1 and 2 a little bit more consistently. It's just been, we're finally getting out of turns 1 and 2 without stacking the field up.
Here comes Lynx and Jason on the outside. And they clear flag. It's Lynx to the lead.
File for top 3 positions for now. Lynx leads, Jason second, flag third, and like I said earlier, Jason and his cronies, they're going to be the one to decide.
I don't think flag and Jason are friends. Like, I know for a fact I've never seen Flag around Jason. Like, I've seen Lynx. I've seen who else was among those? Poofy. I've seen Pointy. I've never seen Flag around them outside.
Poofy's been working. To be fair, Poofy has been working with just about anyone who could thus far today. So Poofy has been doing whatever he can to try and move forward. But finally, we are finally in the middle of a green flag run. Hopefully, we can actually stay green now to the end of this race. Also, there is enough laps left. There is likely that everyone will have to make one more stop before we go to the end of this event. So one more pit stop. Hopefully it doesn't have to be under yellow. If it's under green, it can make things really interesting because that would further spread out the field in that scenario. But at the moment, it is Lynx, Jason, Flag, Cameron is in fourth.
Yep. Yeah, Flag isn't among Jason's group of friends. I know Flag and Doug are friends, but I don't think I've ever seen Flag and Jason be friends, like, ever.
Well, either way, our top 6 have all kind of closed up on each other at the front of the field now. Dino Prime is in 7th with some clean air. I think Dino's trying to hook back up with Shredder, and I imagine that duo will probably be the first group to try and make their pit stop. First and fifth, all directly nose to tail right now, and Flag
he just gets him out of the way. Or are they gonna hold it?
They're still straight.
Okay, just one. I think we're good.
We stay green, but Jason has now been taken out of the contention for a lead group, and Cactus Man is now in third, fighting with Pointy Squirrel. This is honestly really upset things because first and second are nowhere close to each other, and the rest of the field is all kind of packed up. So So our leaders right now may have a great lead, but they are going to be absolutely destroyed once the field catches them. Flag is going to be caught by Cactus Man and Pony Stroll here. Blade and Doug are in the middle of a fight as well. And then this is going to get interesting because first and second, they're not close enough to do any draft and defend against this field. The field is absolutely going to eat them up. And Jason, I said Jason was going to decide this race. Now again, we have a yellow flag that will still change, but if we stay green to the end, Jason, nowhere near the top 5, he will not have the impact that we were anticipating he would on this finish. Blade now moving to the inside of Pony Stroll. Cactus Man continues to lead this group as they're barreling down on our second place driver.
Yeah, neither will King Cameron, who's also been one of the factors.
And there goes another car around. That was the AMC sponsored machine. I think that was a single car incident. We stay green. Doug has also gone to the wall farther back as well. Blade has gotten by Cactus Man and all that. And Kirito, who is a road course ace, not an oval driver, has worked his way up in the pit. They have caught Flag now, and Blade is
here they come.
This will get interesting. How aggressively is Blade going to push Flag around?
Very aggressively.
If you're too aggressive, you want us to run the risk of stacking up the field again and forcing another yellow flag.
You can see he's letting off, especially when they're in the corner, because you don't want to take someone out in the corners. But look at this.
Pony Stroll now goes a lap down. Lynx.
They are catching him.
Yeah, here it comes.
They are a freight train coming.
Two-car tandem and a single car. How aggressive?
Oh, they're gonna go. Oh, they're gonna
slides up. He's got a block. They're stuck on the high side.
Oh, he can't stop. He can't stop.
Yeah, that's not.
You can't stop this freight train. You ain't stopping this two-car freight train, Lynx.
Lynx is going to do everything he can, though, and Cactus Man is now sucking up into this. We may have a 4-car fight for this position here shortly. Kirito is back there in 5th. If they go side by side for too long, Kirito could end up in this. Flag now going back to the outside, but Blade is now aborting.
Oh, Blade! No, he's not.
No, here he is. Now he makes
there he comes on the inside.
This is on the inside. 2 by 2. Lynx, Cactus inside, Flag, Blade outside, and Blade could not hook up with Flag, and now Cactus goes up in the second.
But here he comes again.
Inside line doesn't have a good run down the back straightaway. Again,
here comes Flag again.
Before this race is over.
Flag to the outside.
And he's got Blade pushing him as well. Big run on the outside.
Not quite enough.
That lap, but Blade's going to have a run out of the tri-oval. Push Flag nose just ahead. Neck and neck into turn 1 again. Inside line will give Lynx the advantage in the corners, but Flag will get a great push out of turn 2. Blade got pushed wide by Cactus. But again, look at this run. Lynx is going to come up. He's going to squeeze
F6
that Celsius car.
Apologies, my brother came in and wondered. Sorry about that. My brother came in and wondering with the whole, trying to figure out the whole thing with the washer here at our house.
Fine. Don't worry about it. Lynx and Flag are still side by side, and Cactus though is now in 3rd.
Other side, caution.
We were racing the lap 151, so this would be 32 laps left. Assuming that fuel tank runs about 29 laps, I think you should go ahead, hit now, and bet on yellow to the end of this race. But this has been our longest green flag run.
In a while, yeah. This was a good run. This was a good side. This was a good size green flag run.
That was the first real time I've actually been able to enjoy this for a while.
Yeah, so we were enjoying all this. We were enjoying this for a while.
Yeah, but now it's this. I say, hit now, and bet on there being at least 1 or 2 more yellows before the end of this race, and you'll probably save enough fuel that way to get back to the front. That's what I think the strategy needs to be now. Also, Point Stroll will be able to utilize this to get back onto the lead lap.
Yep. So at least we got some excitement here. Our hopes are getting up again, you know? I guess you could say it's been an up and down race. I mean,
hopefully we can end it on an up instead of ending it on a down.
Yeah, we need to have. Like this is reasonable.
All right, who's gonna pit and who's not? That's gonna be the question. Drivers who stay out will have track position, but will still need to pit before this is over. I see 2 drivers still out on the track. Who are they?
I think
Dino and Shredder.
I think we know who it is.
The same duo that have been on an alternate
Yeah,
track
they've
for
been
most
on
of
this
race.
Now, here's the thing. Do they have enough to make it to the end? Remember, we're in a 151.
No, Dino only has 31% left in his tank, and I believe Shredder is going to be running out a similar number. So these two will have to pit a little bit later.
32. They're 31 and 32.
But I wonder if I'm guessing in this case, if you're Dino and Shredder, you want to try and get the start and pull open as big of a gap on the rest of the field as you can, and then pit and hope that everyone else can spend so much time bashing each other that you're able to make ground back up or something. Because being the last people to make your last stop is almost always going to be a bad scenario when you're have these yellow flags like this. Flag is going to be second, Lynx is going to be third, so they're going to be the ones pushing Dino and Shredder and deciding how this goes. I will give credit to Shredder. I thought that he was going to have some sort of issues and would be fading and struggling to just stay on track, but he has actually stayed relatively competitive. But I do think part of the reason is that we run so many laps under yellow flag, he's not really been pushing himself like he normally would in a race like this. All right, so lap 151 is the end of this race. 151 up there, technically 150.
So it's about 30.
Yeah, we'll be coming to 31 laps to
32,
go at the green
32,
flag.
30, yeah, 32, 31.
Yeah, so it should be 31 laps to go coming to the green flag. We are no longer racing a lap 201 like we initially were. It's now just 151, so we'll be 30 laps to go here. Shredder outside, Dino inside as they come to the green flag. 14 of our 18 starters still on
Here
track.
we go, green flag back.
Again.
Green flag in the air again. You're at Daytona.
Rahman pushed way below the double yellow, farther back there.
Yes.
Dive into turn 1.
Dino and Shredder still side by side. Remember, Shredder, he's the only.
Flag, just a bit though.
Yeah, Shredder is like, memory server, I think the only European in here. No, wait, Lynx. I totally forgot Lynx
Lynx is still here. Yeah.
Yeah, Lynx is.
Shredder has got in front of Dino. This is what this duo wanted. They're in the lead, nose to tail. But again, Dino and Shredder still have to pit before this race is over.
Yes.
At the rate I'm thinking, I think this duo will have to pit by about lap 127 or so. And then that duo will have to pit maybe sooner than that even. And Dino's turned right in front of the field. Looks like they'll keep it green outside of that. Nope, there's your stack up. Another 3-4 car accident there in turn 2. And there's your yellow flag. I think Kirito is European also. I might be wrong though.
Yeah.
Well, for the likes of Dino and Shredder, they might as well pit now and end up in the back of the grid and just hope that they can avoid incidents to get to the front. But for everyone else, they have already made will be their final stop. Shredder is staying out. Shredder is staying out. And he has 20. He still has about a quarter of his fuel left. So the way this is going, Shredder should be able to run about 7 laps under green.
Dino is still in too.
And if we continue to have yellow flags though, I think they're only going to be able to run about 14 laps. So even if it's yellow to the end, Shredder and Dino have to pit again though. Even if we run every lap to the end under yellow, that duo will not be able to make it to the end with the fuel they have. They will have to pit again. Cactus Man is in third. Jason is now back into fifth. So I think Jason is now back in position. He's going to be the one who decides who wins this race now. Coming to the green flag, Link's outside, Shredder inside. He's coming on to start lap 123 out of now 150. So we'll have 28 laps left. So yeah, anyone who is pitted now, even if we were green to the end, they would have enough fuel to the end.
Yep.
Bless you. To the line. Link's ahead of Shredder. On the outside, got a great run. And he's going to come down in front of Shredder without issue. Again, Shredder needs to pit before this is over. So realistically, our current second place driver, realistically, is going to be Cactus Man. And Jason in fourth is going to be third. So yeah, Jason is going to be the one deciding who ends up winning this race, because Shredder, who is in second, will have to pit very soon here. Even if we ran the rest of this race under yellow flag, Shredder and Dino do not have the fuel to make it to the end here.
Well, Shredder?
And there goes somebody around. Shredder's
Shredder.
pitting now. Someone got spun coming out of turn 4, but I didn't see who that was. I think that was Dino.
Yeah, it is Dino.
It is Dino. Dino spun coming into pit lane. So yeah, that'll take him completely out of contention for this race as well. At the front, LMP Links. The Cactus Man and Jason behind. Cactus has now been washed to the outside, and now Jason pulls to the inside. Flag runs, will inherit third, I believe. No, Cactus cuts down in front of Flag, but yeah. So Links leads Jason, and now the question is going to be, when does Jason make a move to get around Links? Or will he just push Links to the finish here? Blade is in ninth, and Kirito is... I'm trying to see what Kirito is on the track. Oh, they're about to put Dino a lap down here. Yeah, they're about to put Dino a lap down. So yeah, Dino is completely out of this race. I'm not going to do post-race interviews. I simply do not think that it's worth doing that today. Absolutely not. I don't want to hear what people think about their race or what things were, because this is...
Yeah, I agree with you on that. For those watching, there will be no post-race interview.
Field finally spread out a bit, and it looks like it will be Links and Jason who are going to scoot away, and they'll decide the fight for this win between each other. It's all just going to come down to how much Jason cares about winning here or not. Cactus Man is in third, but I don't know if Cactus is going to be close enough to our top two to actually have an impact on that lead battle here. Fourth place is going to be Flag, fifth is Pony Stroll, sixth is H-Wire Doug, seventh is Kirito, eighth is Blade, ninth is King Cameron, and Cameron, a driver that I think honestly could have won this race if he wasn't wrecked so many times. Really struggling just to try and regain positions here. And I think the worst case scenario is for, honestly, Dino and Shredder, considering that they waited way too long to make their stops. Dino got dumped coming into the pits, and both of them are now guaranteed to finish this race a lap down, basically. First, second, third, all lined up nose to tail at the moment. And then fourth to ninth, all on top of each other. This is the real danger zone here. Kirito looks to the outside, but no one's looking to go with him. Blade now to his inside. Kirito shuts the door at the last moment. But now that lets... Oh no, Blade shuts the door back. So they go single file. And now Doug gets turned sideways. And now that's Pony Stroll who gets shoved into the outside wall there. Pony Stroll's now going to fall down several positions.
Now here's one of Flag's friends. This is one of those people I think Flag wants to see behind him. is Doug, because I know both of them. I know both of them are friends, and I'm.
Yeah, but right now
I'm emotionally rooting for them.
That 3-car train at the front, though, is too well hooked up, and this group from fourth on back is not hooked up well enough. I think that top 3, they're going to have to, unless we have another yellow, they're going to sell this race amongst themselves here. Unless there's an accident, another yellow flag, this trio is going to sell this race by themselves. And right now, it looks like Jason's just trying to keep Cactus Man behind him. I think what he really wants to do is he wants to keep Cactus Man in third, so that way Cactus doesn't back up to the rest of the field, and then drag the entire field up to a 2-car train.
Yes. Oh, and we see Kirito is pulling back. Maybe something happened. Must have made a mistake.
Flag continues to run in 4th position with HYR Doug behind him, and that group from 4th on back has completely spread out. So yeah,
regardless,
no
if we can
chance that they catch that top 3 now.
Regardless, I'm still happy about at least some of my good friends in Flag and Doug, freaking representing, not just, at least they're good racers and they're good friends of mine, and, representing DMSRA. This literally does. Maybe Dan might be watching. If he is, I hope Dan's watching. He might be happy two DMSRA drivers are in the top 5 in this race. And this puts a smile from ear to ear for me. So long as they keep it clean.
Well, it's not over yet. There's still a possibility of a yellow flag that could upset everything, or even if we get to the last lap, where there are the very last few laps where there are no yellow flags. We could end up seeing an accident that could take him out of it.
Yeah, here comes Keen and Blade. Blade is all over the bumper of Keen right now.
Yeah, that group from 4th to 7th, they spread out and then they group back together, and they spread out and they group back together. So it's a good little fight for 4th. But they're not going to have any chance of catching this fight for the win. Flag ahead of King Cameron at the moment. Blade in 6th, and Doug now in 7th.
Yep.
Giving Cameron a big shove. I think they're going to try and get by Flag here for 4th. I think Jason is now actively trying to back away from Lynx. I think he's trying to back Cactus up and intentionally sandbagging a bit, so that way he can catch Lynx off guard. The problem is, though, I think Lynx is wise to it, because Lynx also seems to hold lines that drags Jason and Cactus back up in the draft. Because of that, this top 3 can't really do anything, and if they keep doing this backup thing, they're going to end up in a scenario where they... 1 second, please hold.
Alright, this is gonna be me on board with him. Yep, what he was saying. All the while, those guys, 4th, 5th, and 6th they're coming. They're coming like they're approaching. But I don't know if it's enough for them to catch these 3. All the while.
I apologize for that.
That's alright. That's alright.
Less than 20 laps to go. We're finally back to having a proper green flag run here. And it's Lynx, Jason, and Cactus at the front of the field. This race is going to be, like I said in the 3 races, is going to be decided by Jason. Is he fine with Lynx winning this race and Lynx breaking this long winless drought of his? Or is Jason going to get aggressive? You've seen Jason have no problem get up behind somebody and just turn them or dump them into a corner. And even if the driver ahead is able to save it, Jason would have more momentum and scoot by.
Yeah.
That group from 4th on back just are not able to close by any significant amount here. Blade, Cameron, and Flag all on top of each other in that fight for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Then you have to go back to 7th. That's Doug. He's by himself. Kirito has fallen back into a fight with Drumman, and they're trying to stay ahead of Pointy Troll and Poofy. Then Elite Phantom and SRD Shredder. Well, Elite Phantom is all by himself. Shredder is barely on the lead lap, and then Dino is a lap down. Basically guaranteed to finish in the back. Still no change here in the top 3 positions. I think Jason is setting up to make a move on like the last lap or second to last lap against Lynx. Now he could try and do something when Shredder gets by here. That would be a very risky move, but it is a possible strategy.
Pulling, because his scheme is like a Dale Earnhardt, using the lap car.
Oh, flag! And Blade have wrecked farther back in the field. Is that going to be a yellow flag?
Nope.
Looks like
no, it is! Yes, it is! Yes, it is! Yes, it is! They're slowing down!
Well, this is going to probably put things again. I think Jason still has the advantage. He's going to be restarting on the outside. Lynx will have the inside. But I think Jason, if he's fast enough getting up through the gears, he'll probably scoot ahead to the top spot. So 14 laps to go right now. Good news for Dino and Shredder. They will be able to, Shredder, stay on the lead lap, Dino get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, and 14 laps to go. So here is an interesting dilemma.
It's really not that interesting. Easily going to have the advantage in powering through the gears over Lynx on this restart here.
All right. Okay, there we go. But yes, what I was saying before my controller wire decided to disconnect. We got Lynx in first, Jason second, Cactus third, King Cameron fourth, Duck fifth.
And then when it comes to the championship fight overall, Jason is second right now, but Blade is in 10th, and the other man we think could be a potential title threat, Kirito, is in 7th. So right now, Jason has a massive leg up over the other 2 drivers that we anticipate that will be serious title threats in this season.
I know some of these guys you would think are. This is for some of those. Someone like, say, a King Cameron, or hell, even Doug. This might be one of their only chances to get a win, as we are 13 to go.
Yeah, it's pretty much obvious that Jason, Kirito, and Blade, and then maybe Shredder will walk away with all the normal wins on the road courses here.
Yeah,
again, Jason's here in second, and Jason has the ability to pretty much move anyone he wants. I think Jason's basically gonna, right now, unless Jason gets turned, I think Jason has this race won, or he'll stay in second and push Lynx to a victory. Those are the only ways I see this ending right now.
Yeah, literally, for some of those guys who realize this is their only chance, because like you said, it's either going to be the other tracks. Well, Daytona is probably the only one, because there's 2 times we're going to be at Daytona where someone like Doug, or hell, even me on my last stock car racing start ever, I could pull off a win. I mean, it's like, but I'm like but somebody like me has a chance at winning at a track like Daytona, whereas I'm gonna do garbage at road courses, like say Le Mans.
All right. Well, everyone's finally doubled up here. Lynx inside, Jason outside. Cactus will be third, and 4th place will be one of our best drivers today,
King Cameron. Yep.
If something happens to the leaders, Cameron might be able to get back into the lead and might be able to take the win of this race that he's somewhat dominated. Yes. Dominated the best he could, considering how weird he ran earlier.
Weirdly, the race is in the hands of those top 2 on the outside. Like, literally. Like, they are the ones that could control this race.
Coming to the green flag once again. Lynx inside, Jason outside.
Here we go. We are green once again here at Daytona. Yes, indeed. 12 to go.
Someone's in the wall already farther back there. That was the Mobile 1 car. There's still 2 by 2 in the front 2 rows right now, but it looks like Jason's going to cut down, and we're going to have the exact same top 3 that we did coming into this. It'll be Lynx, Jason. Oh no, Cameron's trying to fight back on the
Cameron's
outside.
trying to, yeah.
Man. But does Cameron have any help? Because Cameron didn't have anyone working with him on the outside.
Might have Doug.
No, Cameron's back down behind Doug. Field all mostly single file right now. And again, I anticipate this top 3 will scoot away from the rest of the field without issue here. Cameron's been good, but I don't think you would do anything to Jason or Lynx here. Unless you can make Jason go side by side with Lynx. I don't think there's anything you can do there. And I think right now Jason's content to run behind that Lowe's car and just try to push him ahead from the rest of the field, and he'll probably try to make a move either coming to the white flag or right after the white flag. Cameron now loses the position to HYR Doug. There's just no one working with Cameron on the outside here. So Cameron, despite being so strong with no help, really can't move up through the grid. Now Kirito's going to scoop by him, and Flag will be the next driver trying to go by that Mobile 1 car as well.
10 laps to go here. It is Lynx leading, Jason second, Cactus third, Doug fourth, and then Kirito dead.
There's absolutely nothing that can be done by anyone outside the top 3 right now. It's all going to come down to when Jason makes his moves.
And you know this is kind of weird, but I had literally a dream when it came to this race that literally I think to myself, the dream was Doug winning it. I think it's like, I'm like, is this? Am I seeing it? Is this dream going to end up becoming a reality potentially?
Well, the only way I see that happening right now is if our 3 drivers, if we stay green,
yeah, that's what I was
to
thinking
the end,
it was
and our
going to
top 3
happen.
drivers all wreck, and I don't think all 3 drivers here at the front are going to wreck. I think in that scenario, I think Jason would rather stay second and push Lynx to a victory.
Like, that would be like if that dream became a reality right now. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm literally rooting for Doug right now.
No. 8 laps to go.
8 to go.
No change in the top 3 right now. In fact, honestly, no change in the top 6 for the last few laps here, and everyone's just kind of getting spread out now. No one's really close enough to hook up and do a proper slam draft, except for 2nd and 3rd place. And again, I don't think that's a case of Cactus beating up on Jason. I think that's just Jason backing up the Cactus, and he's trying to just set everything up so he can get a great run to overtake Lynx on either the last lap or the next last lap. If they make their move early, they run the risk of getting caught out by another yellow and getting screwed over. I think both Lynx and Jason really want to avoid that. I think they just want to stay 1-2 like they are now. Turns 1 and 2 again. 7 laps to go right now. I don't really see any movement in the rest of the field, honestly. I think everyone's basically at where they are. I think right now the hopes are just that the leaders take each other out. I don't really want to see that happen, but I think for everyone from 4th on back, the hope is just that the leaders take each other out and just kind of cause a randomized show, because otherwise everyone's basically where they're going to be to the end of this race by the looks of it. Our top 3 have now pulled away by a significant amount right now. Race and Jason
6 to go.
will have all of the choice and all the control of this race to the end. Even after a restart, this trio here had the best restart and set it up. There's a fight farther back. King Cameron's going to scoop by MRT Kirito, who is on the outside. So Cameron will finally get 5th position back. Dino Prime is back there in the 8th position, being pushed by Blade. They're going to catch up to Kirito here. I would not be surprised if Blade tries to muscle by Dino in these last few laps, because again, Dino's just here for a one-off. Blade is fighting for a title, but this duo is now going to go around the outside of Kirito here. Kirito just has no
5
speed,
to go.
going solo by himself.
Yeah, we have 5 laps to go.
Someone hit it. Who hit it? Pointy Trolls hit it. So I wonder if he may have mistimed it, making the fuel or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, Dino and Blade around the outside. They will finally clear Kirito. So Dino into 7th, Blade into 8th. And again, I expect Blade and Kirito to be fighting for 2nd in the championship overall. So that position could be very important here. Again, though, we look at this fight for the victory. 4 laps to go right now. Still no change, and they have pulled a massive gap on the rest of the field. As a lap car coming out of the pit as Pointy Troll. He's going to go a lap down here, I imagine. Yep, goes a lap down without issue. Cactus and Jason continue to be right on top of each other. Lynx has a bit of a buffer. And they have opened up a gigantic lead over Doug right now. Honestly, if something happens, I think Doug is in a position that he can actually react and potentially avoid if our leaders wreck. I don't think our top 3 are gonna wreck. All right, 3 to go now. Jason looks to the inside, but Lynx shuts the door. Cactus still runs right behind Jason. About 1 car length gap between 1st and 2nd. Lynx is now backs up to try and push Jason right behind him so Jason can't get as much of a run. So Lynx knows what Jason is trying, but again, it's all going to come down to how much does Jason want to push Lynx to this victory, or does Jason want to steal this for himself? Lynx is trying to break a long win streak. Jason wants to try and capitalize on the title early.
Yep. 2 to go.
No more yellows. So whatever happens, happens. This will be the race.
Yes. What's going to happen here? What will happen?
There's a bit of a fight going on there for the 6th position right now between Cameron and Dino and Blade. That's way behind this trio. Jason and Cactus have now opened up the biggest gap against Lynx that they've had for a while. They need to start putting power down now. They need to make the moves now to make something happen. Coming to the white flag one more time.
Here we go. White flag in the air.
Doug has just hit it.
Oh, no.
So now our 4th place driver is Flag, I believe. And Dino is fighting with him for that position. All right. What can Jason do against Lynx? Back straightaway for a last time.
Is it gonna be enough?
Jason's not making any moves yet. I don't see him doing anything. They've got the gap against the rest of the field. If Jason wants to do something, he needs to do it now. Lynx drifts a little bit high.
I don't think he will.
Nope, Jason's not gonna make the move. Cactus trying to push Jason. Jason to the
outside. Wait a minute! Are you? Oh my God! What?
Really? Okay.
What?
So Jason and Lynx both let off and let Cactus go right by them for the victory.
Are you kidding me?
All right.
Well,
all right. Huh. I did not expect they would both pull over to let Cactus have it. I will admit that was very beautifully crafted. They both took an extreme inside, extreme outside, and let Cactus just go scoop right by to take that. Very well crafted. I was full credit for that, but that was an extreme anticlimax.
I was not. Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Well, that will pretty much wrap up that. So we're still trying to get the proper final order, but I believe most of the positions were decided. In the end, it does look like, though, that Dino may have taken home 4th. So good job on his part, at least, to recover after all the bolt that happened to him. He comes home. Well, no. Yeah, no. He was 4th. I don't know what Pointy Troll is doing up there. 5th would be Blade, 6th would be Kirito, 7th would be Flag, 8th would be Rawman, 9th would be King Cameron, 10th would be Shredder, 11th would be Doug, 12th would be Poofy, 13th would be Phantom, and then 14th would be Pointy Scroll. who was a lap down at the end of that race. So that will pretty much wrap up our broadcast here. Race that was shortened. We still were here for about 2 hours and 45 minutes overall. But at least we had some decent green flag runs near the end. Anyways, like I said, I'm not going to be doing any interviews here. So actually, I'll interview just Cactus. I'm going to interview only Cactus and nobody else.
Okay, we're getting Cactus Man in here. We can.
But that will be it. After that, I'm not talking to anyone else after that shit show.
Do I have... No, get him... Let's get him in here.
I've already sent him an invite.
But you'll need to do it for both audios. Pretty much.
No, you can click the thing for one box, and it will include it for both automatically.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. But I don't know if before he doesn't even join. I'm gonna send him one more invite.
Yes.
But when it comes to the overall championship fight, Jason coming home in second, this will definitely help him out in that little quest for sure. He'll have a leg up over all his title rivals right off the bat here. I don't know, maybe Cactus Man... Oh, no, there we are. Finally, Cactus Man gets the invite. All right.
Yes.
Cactus Man, go ahead, include your audio. Congratulations on the win, even if it was a bit handed to you. What do you have to say about your run today?
I dedicate my boys. First off, Jason, I dedicate this win to you. I dedicate this mostly to Cake. We were both basically low on fuel. We were so lucky enough. But they were very helpful that they decided to let me have the win. I would have teared up, man. I'm already in tears right now. I dedicate this to the team of AMCs, which is me and Pointy in the team. I dedicate this to the Red Ring Race.
All right, well, great job on being in the right position to bring home that victory. One of the better looking cars, in my opinion, taking home the win. So now the question is, what do you think you can do across the rest of the season once we leave the high banks at Daytona? Top 10 in points or just top 10 results in the races? All right. Like, where do you think you'll finish in the other races across the rest of the season? All right.
Consistent as well.
All right, well, you have your goals set out for you. Seems like you know what you're doing. Good job on being in the right place at the right time to capitalize on the sacrifices, and good job on opening your season with a victory, mate. All right, with that in mind, that will pretty much wrap up our broadcast here from Daytona. Next week on Saturday, we will be doing another IESC GT race. That will be at Road America. And then on Sunday, we will be covering our next our next race in Florida for AGRL NASCAR. But as I understand, that will be Sebring. So we will see you then.
You'll see me.
Until next time. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I want to say peace out and goodbye.
Obviously, we will see you later, everyone.